All right, guys. And we are back. Somebody got me in the background. Somebody turned it off for me.
Somebody got to close. Somebody got to close the old screen.
Hold on.
It should be, yeah. So, yeah, exit out the other one. But guys, yeah, we had some technical difficulties on the last stream, but we are back in business and we are continuing. Now I can find out who it is real quick, guys. Let me see. All right, testing 1 2. Okay, it's not Ikene. Testing 1 2. It's Casey Mo. Casey Mo. Yeah, Casey Mo, you got an extra YouTube going on in the back.
So I don't have anything else pulled up. It's just because I'm on my phone and it's playing straight through my phone.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what, though.
I know the why. Casey, are you using Chrome?
Yes.
Close all the windows on the Chrome and check this one.
I mean, I did, but hold on.
All right, while we're waiting on Casey Mo for his perspective, Ikene came in. Ikene, did you have something you wanted to say to Be Brave and Think?
Yeah. So what I'm going to say in essence.
Ikene, hold on. You said a good piece. Let me respond to what you said. You are absolutely correct. When I speak of whites, I speak of the only thing we have for ourselves is the ground level. Blacks, whites, Asian, no matter, because we're not going to do anything with the corporate machine. Nobody's messing with them. They're there. Whites on the ground level, you are correct, will eventually have to share with all the other races in this America. But if you're talking about China coming up or Russia coming up, I don't do that because to me that's childish not to understand that it's already a one world government. Those countries are good cop, bad copping us. They're all under the corporate machine's umbrella. The corporate machine starts wars. Look what they did with Ukraine overnight. Wham! Ukraine, we got a war. Anything they want, they do it. With Russia, man, you had this silly thing where the private military supposedly was going into Russia to overthrow it. That was a joke, and people took it serious.
Yeah, but look at it this way. Be brave. What you said about the corporate machine is where the black nations have to go to, because there is no way. I tell this all the time, even on my channel. I tell black people all the time, if you want to shy away from the corporate machine, you're never going to have a civilization. You're never going to have a superiority, because the superiority lies in the corporate machine.
Yes.
The reason why China is rising is because of the corporate machine.
Yes.
The reason why Russia is where it is because of the corporate machine.
Yes.
The reason why United States and Europe came together is to expand a strong corporate machine. So if black and Africans have to play in that field, they got to play in that corporate machine.
No,
corporation is what solidifies the power of any entity.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
They're not going to let blacks share in the corporate machine. Russia isn't sharing hold on. Russia isn't sharing to the extent that people think. China is not sharing to the extent that people think. That corporate machine runs all of the countries on this planet. They're not going to have anything to do with black people replacing a white corporate machine.
Be brave. Yeah. You know what you just said right now was 1908. 1908, Lord Lugard gave a speech at the British Parliament. You know what he said?
What did
he say? He said to the British Parliament, no matter what you do, don't allow Africa to develop.
Right. See, I told you.
Don't allow Africa to have industrialization.
Hold on. So real quick, guys, because I do need to jump back to work. So what I'll say is this: when Be Brave talks about the corporate machine, we'll just call it the power, like the people in power. Period. The people in power period currently have white skin color, right? But they're not white people. Like, they don't look at themselves, they don't group themselves in that way. And here's the thing.
Be careful.
Everybody grouping themselves, it's what leads to viewpoints like Be Brave's, where he can say, we are superior, we are doing this, but Be Brave isn't a part of that group, whether he understands it or not. He's not a part of that group. I'm not a part of that group. Nobody on this panel is a part of that group.
It's not a part of that group. It's not.
No, none of us are. And that's the thing, because there's a hierarchy, and it has nothing to do with skin color. And as long as people continue to group themselves that way and police each other and themselves that way, we're never going to be able to be that group. That group of elitists, they don't care. It doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter what their skin color is, because it doesn't matter what yours is to them. All that matters to them is that you are the commoners, and you are under them, and you will continue to stay under them.
We are the
Yeah, be brave, be brave. Please, no, I'm coming because I didn't finish what I was saying. I didn't finish what I was saying earlier.
Please.
Be brave. Let me say this. Let me just let 25 seconds. 25 seconds.
No, sir. I got to answer this guy. That the people in power are not white, but we are closest to their skin color. We are their buffer, is what I'm getting at. Therefore, we are the power below them.
But you're not. That's what I'm saying. It gives you the ability to think that you are. But again, if you're in such a seat of power, why are you living where you're living? Why are you living the way you're living? Why are the most people, look at the raw numbers of poverty in America. Mm-hmm. The raw numbers show that white people are living in poverty at way higher numbers, right? So it's not about everything that you think is all based on a premise that does not exist. This idea of teams is foolish. We're all experiencing the same external stimuli as Americans. And if you want to get scientific about it, the race is human. There is there was one guy who posited an idea of sub races for the different colors of skin. It didn't pan out, and it didn't pan out because on a base level, we're all the same. The only difference is that there is a group of people who is above everyone else. And I hate to tell you this, but white people are not the gatekeepers for them.
Oh, yes, we are. You're silly.
My guy, when was the last time you stopped anybody from getting a job? When was the last time you stopped anybody from getting food? You ain't never done it. And I'm going to tell you this too. In any neighborhood, you look to your black neighbors or your white neighbors, y'all are going through the same shit. I'm sorry if cussing ain't allowed,
you're good.
But yeah, you're going through the same things. Your next door neighbor does not have the ability to hold you down, and vice versa. Even your boss at your job, he can only do a little bit, but he's still going through the same stuff that you are. We're all going through the same thing, and until we really understand that and stop these teams, we're not going to get anywhere, and we're going to continue to be trampled.
No, I'm saying the white race is used as a buffer. The educated white race is used as the super buffer. And if you think the educated white race aren't being used by the corporate machine, you're silly. I don't even wish to discuss it anymore because we're too far apart. This is where I say gentlemanly, very gentlemanly. Casey, one of us is a damn fool.
Clearly. And it's been shown, the entire thing. I'll tell you this, though. As long as you continue to believe, it's the useful idiots that are being used as a buffer. And that's the thing, because they'll spout out the same rhetoric that'll listen, when you're sitting here talking about how superior whites are and whites have all this privilege, what you're doing is you're feeding the poor black man who's sitting here thinking, man, if only these white people were in the way, I could get ahead. You're feeding that same dumb shit. Like, you're creating a victim class when you don't even have the power to create a victim.
No, the reason I'm admitting what's going on is because I'm saying no matter if this is going on, you need to improve your damn behavior because you aren't that far down. You're still living like a god, so quit pissing and moaning, black man. Get up off it, do it. I don't care if we're superior or we're in a superior position. You're not that far down.
Hold on, so basically you want us to elevate but still be under you.
No, I don't want you to be under me. That's where you're gonna be, not by my choice. Well, who's got the echo?
It's me. I'm sorry. I keep trying to mute when I'm not talking. So let me ask you this. BMU and Be Brave, standing next to each other, physically, who's the superior being? Just physically.
Well, wait a minute. I'm 68. How old are you, BMU?
39.
Go at your primes.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
Woo! How much you weigh when you're supposed to weigh, right?
Well, I'm 315.
No, you're real weight, not the overweight.
No, 315.
Okay, physically, guess who's going to kick whose ass? Is that what you're getting at?
Sure.
Okay, I'm 5'9.5". I weigh 200 pounds at my best. But even though BMU, as a young man, even after you kick my ass, you know I don't want to do that again.
Okay, so hold on. So you'll concede that physically, probably the superior being. Okay, now between the two of you, just give me a range. Are we talking?
Listen,
annual income?
The black race is physically superior.
Okay, now just between the two of you, just an income range, five figures, 6 figures, or 7 figures.
I could earn anything I wanted to. It never occurred. I never worried about any money. I'm a minimalist.
Okay, but that doesn't answer my question. You're in the 5-figure range?
I could easily be in a 6-figure range if I wanted to as a young man.
And clearly, because you're 68 and that's already happened. BMU, 5, 6, 7, where you at?
6.
6. Okay. So far, I mean, I don't know how many other things you want to go with it. I mean, we could go in any other thing. It sounds to me like if you're just going like one by one, it doesn't sound like white people are superior. At least as we're talking right now. I could be wrong.
You're judging somebody who don't care about income? I've never worried about anything. I've gotten beautiful women all my life. I live like a god. You're gonna say because I'm a minimalist that the white race isn't out earning the black race? Are you trying to say that?
Let me ask you this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pull back out there. So let me ask you this. I don't know what God you're worshiping, but you told me earlier, you told the whole audience that you were on government assistance at one point. My God don't take food stamps.
No, I never said I'm on government assistance. I said as a kid, children, my family was. As a man, I've never had a government check in my life. And everything I own is paid off. New and paid off. My cars, I should say. My little house is paid off. Yeah.
Okay, then forgive me, because I do feel like you said that you were on government assistance at some point, at any point.
I am on Social Security. I do rely on that now.
Well, that's a little bit different at this point. I assume you worked your whole life to pay into it.
I sure did.
So that's not the same thing. So I'm just saying, man, like there are a lot of things that people talk about without applying it to their real life experience. In real life experience, I've known white folks. I'll tell you this. I grew up in a predominantly black area. In fact, my house was green, but they called it the White House because we were the only white folks in the neighborhood. And I'm going to tell you what, we were the poorest family in the whole neighborhood. Like, I've also seen some really poor black folks. I mean, the entire area was poor. As an adult, I've seen some black dudes that are doing so much better than me, and I've seen some that are doing so much worse, and vice versa for whites, for Hispanic. It's the same thing.
Okay, let's
ask you understand, right?
Yes, I do, because you're speaking silly. BMU, do you think whites are superior when it comes to most things in this society as far as advantages?
I think you want the honest truth. I'm gonna give it to you. I think that there's a higher power in that he was just talking about that Casey Mo just alluded to, and I think you guys are trying to mimic them or trying to be like them. And I think now we're at a situation now we have angry old white men now who are upset that they can no longer have that kind of power over people of color. They can't.
No, that's not what I asked you, Case.
But okay. So no, I do not know.
When it comes to the earning world, the working world, the business world, do you think that white men? Do you think that that you can compete with white men in that white world?
Absolutely.
Yes, you can compete individually. I'm saying as a whole, the white race and the black race. Do you think the black race is competing with the white race fairly or able to at all?
Yeah, we're competing, but then, like you said, it comes to the word fairly. No.
Thank you. That's my point.
I think you're right, because you just admitted so many things other people who are no longer in business admitted. We're going to throw your damn application in the trash if my nephew needs a job.
That's what I'm saying. That's why Casey's full of it. He don't want to admit the white power structure. He wants to downplay it.
He's saying white power. Casey, he's saying white power slickly, ain't he? But go ahead.
No, I mean it. White power structure. I mean, what do you think? I'm hiding something? You think I'm gonna start lying to you now? No, I'm serious.
Casey, did you want to respond, Casey?
Yeah, and then I really do got to get back to work. So the quote unquote white power structure, again, is not something that the average common white man has a grasp on or a hold of. It's just not real. And if you want to compare apples to apples, not apples to oranges, take 10 average black men, take 10 average white men, put them in any setting you want, and they're going to basically compete equally in anything we're talking about. whether it's the business world, whether it's invention and innovation, whether it's education. Like, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of disparities in the way we're raised, but everybody can pull through that. Anybody can pull through that. That's actually one of the joys and blessings of this nation. If you want to talk about, like, honestly, African Americans are the richest Black people in the world. Like, you can take every Black man in the United States, put their earnings together, and they have I think it's the 6th largest GDP if they were a country by themselves.
True.
So what you're saying is inaccurate. And also, you got to think about what you're not understanding. Hold on a second, because I do got to jump out of here and I'll let you get back in. What you're not understanding is that they are a consumer class more than anything, and they're not producing, but that's just right now. That's not how it's always been, and it's not how it will always be. So what you're saying is that because white people outnumber Black people, that's why they can't compete. Whether you understand that that's what you're saying or not, it's what you're saying.
BMU, didn't I say earlier I'm talking about the present, not the past and not the future? Didn't I say I'm referring to the present?
Yeah, he said he's referring to the present.
Right. And in the present, what you're saying is they can't compete because of numbers, because there is no inherent quality that white people have that makes them any different than Black people. I'm sorry. I know you think there is. There is not. Mentally, physically, emotionally.
Why do we have such peaceful neighborhoods when we're all poor and low income and we still don't shoot up our neighborhoods?
Yes, we do. And you know what? Time out. Because I've heard you say this garbage so many times. Listen, growing up, I did shoot up neighborhoods. Growing up, I did steal stereos. I did steal cars. I did all of that. And I did it with a group of people, mixed races. You know what? It's a youth thing. What you're talking about is lower income youth. Do you think BMU's out here robbing people, killing people, getting mad and starting riots? No. Be honest with yourself. BLM and Antifa, those riots, those were white folks. Those are suburban white kids doing that. Stop the madness. All right, hey BMU, I gotta jump. I'll still be listening. Be brave, so that you can talk back. But I do gotta jump.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this because I've been listening to both of them go back and forth. Let me say this. One thing that Be Brave is not saying is this: when I go to what do they call it, to bars, right? Do you know who makes loud noise and jumps up and do wah and all these things? White guys, not Black guys. It's white guys.
To be hard headed.
No, Be Brave. Let me finish. It's white guys because you don't know how.
Try to speak a little more clearly. You got an accent from your foreign accent.
No problem. If you can understand a guy from Russia, you can understand me very well. Okay.
You're doing okay. I got you now. You just said
okay. Good.
I didn't understand the words you said. They were like accented together.
I said this. This is what I said. I said that when I go to clubs, when I go to restaurants, right?
Yes.
That the guys that I hear that speak so loud and shout loud and make noise and bang the tables and beat the tables are white guys, not Black guys, not Black women. There are trashy uneducated Black women out there. These are trashy uneducated. But educated white guys make noise a lot. Educated white women make noise a lot. They trash things. They break bottles outside. They fight outside the clubs. Educated white guys. The Black people that act stupid like the way you talk are usually from the hood.
That's what I'm saying.
But guess what? But educated white guys do the same shit that they do.
They're not as violent. You're talking.
No, they get violent because I can bring. In fact, if you want, I can start bringing tapes because I go to club a lot. I go out to drink. I can start putting up tapes. I can start making recordings.
They're not spinning the block looking for each other to shoot, sir.
No, they don't do that. They don't do that. I give you that one.
They don't shoot. They don't carjack. They don't rob.
They do carjack.
They don't get 100 people in the streets. Cars.
No, I gotta tell you, if I drop my car, right, and my car goes missing, the two people that are thinking, in fact, if you have a Black guy, a white guy, and a Mexican guy, I'm not going to think the black guy stole my car. I'm going to think that the white guy or the Mexican guy stole my car.
Oh, you can think that all you want. I'm just saying.
Because it's the reality. It's reality. Why people steal cars, Mexicans steal parts.
Here's the reality.
Why people steal? What? What is it?
Everybody wants to live in white neighborhoods. Nobody wants to live in black neighborhoods. That's a reality.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that, but it's not true.
Sir,
you know what?
For that.
Bill off. I hate that kind of statistic. I'll tell you why I hate it. Why people always compare a rich white folk to a poor black folk? Why don't you compare a rich white folk to a rich black folk? Why don't you do that? Black people like to live in black neighborhoods that are not hood.
I'll say it again.
Just like white people don't like to live in crack neighborhood, right? Or poor white neighborhood. Rich white folks don't live in crack or poor white neighborhood, do they? Do they do that?
The poor white neighborhoods are safe, crime-free.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Sir,
they're not. No, they're not.
Statistics. Pull up the gun memorial. Come on, just do a gun memorial with us. PM, you? Prove it. See how many whites are shooting up people.
You know what? You and I have been on channels a couple of times, right? So the next time I'm not driving, just remind me to pull it up, and I'll pull it up big time for you because I have those data. Yeah. And let me tell you, according to data again, right? According to data, what Casey just told you right now, when you take a white guy and a black guy at the same capacity, at the same level of education, that white guy can never outperform the black guy any day, anytime. He cannot. He cannot. Bro, I'm a Nigerian, okay?
Okay, look.
Let me tell you this. I'm a Nigerian. I'm a Nigerian, right?
The crux of my matter is, what is destroying society? If you want to think that a black guy is over a white guy no matter what, in those circumstances, I'm not going to let you I'm going to let you think that. I don't care. I'm not going to try to disprove that. Because it has the black guy that's got an education isn't shooting up neighborhoods. The white guy that's got an education isn't shooting up in neighborhoods. So those two don't matter. What we're talking about today is what is tearing apart society. It isn't educated people.
But say the poor black guy. Don't say it's the black guy. That's my problem. Say the poor black guy from the hood.
Oh, I said 1,000 times a small percentage of violent teens. 1,000 times I've said it.
Then I give you that. But at the same time again, let me tell you something, right? Let me also bring this because I listened to you earlier. When you talk about white people being being superior, not supremacist, I'm sorry, being superior, right? No, white people have been superior because number one, they play the game, and I'm not mad at them for playing the game. Okay. But you know where I'm mad at white people now? For not allowing or for using black people to stop black people. That's where my problem is. If you know you better, why don't we just go and fight each other on a playing field? Why would you have to use my against me? Case in point, look at Africa. When you go to Africa today, there are two leaders running for election. One is ready to do good. Do you know what the white people do? They go behind and sponsor the corrupt leader to win the election.
White people or the corporate machine?
I'm talking about white governments, not white. Okay,
you did say the corporate machine were white men, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. In other words, I'm saying white people, the buffer class, us on the ground, we're not in Africa messing you up.
White people of the corporate class, yes, 100% correct. White people of the corporate class, because you know why they do that? It's just like people saying that, oh, take away affirmative action. Who brought affirmative action? It wasn't black people. There is a reason why black men wanted affirmative action gone, and white men didn't like it going, because affirmative action, if you take it away, will level the playing field for black men mostly, and I will tell everybody why. Because now you don't have to shame a black man for getting into university through affirmative action. That's number one. Then number two, you don't have to, the black man now will have to come in there with his GPA and his education is guaranteed. He's not going to be told, okay, he's not going to be told, we already got a 13% admitted. So you can't make it because 13% of black people have been taken into this university. So we do away with the affirmative action. Now it's no longer 13% for black people. It's no longer 65% for white people, right? It's open. So white men brought that affirmative action in order to restrict the number of black men coming into education system. You see what I'm saying?
No, yes, I do. Now listen here. I am for affirmative action at bottom levels of public employment participation. I don't want affirmative action for a brain surgeon. You either make the grade or you ain't getting in. I don't want affirmative action for a dentist. I don't want affirmative action for a high-ranking intellectual pursuits. If you're black and you make it, all the better. Wonderful. But if you ain't making it, I don't care about affirmative action. You're not getting in where things matter when it comes to brains are needed. You either got the brains or you ain't getting in. That's why affirmative action needs to be tier level. You at the bottom, hold on.
It should be on tier level. No. Go ahead.
So I'm saying, I told a story earlier where I wasn't having a multi-million-dollar company not hiring black men, and I changed that. That was me doing affirmative action favorably. I am for that. I don't want to see black men not getting advantages, and it's gotten much better over the last 50 years. What I don't want is if you can't be a brain surgeon, I don't care. You ain't making it. I don't care if we need black brain surgeons. Either find one that's smart enough or we ain't having it.
The thing is this, right? If I got to say this, black man, I'm unfiltered. We as black people, should not be intimidated by anybody anymore. We have to go out there and make it, no matter who it is that is coming out against us.
Yes.
We can't back down in the face of danger. We can't back down in the face of riot. We can't back down in the face of trouble. Because I got to let us know this. The white man is always going to use the poor white guys to cause trouble in the community. He's going to use I'm coming, be brave. He's also going to use the middle-class white guy to cause trouble in the office. You see what I'm saying? So it is time. It is time.
Causing trouble. Is it maintaining power or is it causing trouble? I think it's maintaining power. I don't think
no. Yeah, you can call it maintaining power because they're using causing trouble to maintain power.
Say causing trouble, sir. You're kind of implying that we're being the aggressor. We don't have to be aggressors. It's a white country. All we got to do is just show up. I'm not running from that, but I'm saying the black man he has doors that have been opened, and I don't care what anybody says. There's no reason for violence on the part of black teens. No reason. I don't care.
There is no reason.
I don't care about the position of the white man. Black teens in America live like gods.
Guess what? Let me give you this. There is no reason black people should be doing violence against themselves. But guess what? Violence is always done against your people, because your people, my people, will do violence against each other. In every country, just like we say in Africa, Africans hate each other in Africa, but when they come to the United States, they are friends. You see what I'm saying? People tend to hate each other in their own dominatory settings. White people kill white people in America. Black people kill black people in America. You see what I'm saying? So violence is always what humans are known for. We are humans. We are violent. Okay. But the thing that I'm going to tell, I always tell my black folks all the time, my own people, is this: we have to build America in America. We can't just let the white man have it. We blacks, we are $2.5 trillion. $2.5 trillion, the eighth largest economy in the whole world. Nobody should be dictating how we do business.
No. The reality of white and black violence against each other is blacks are 52 times more apt to do a violent, aggressive act against the white rather than a white against the black. 52 times. 10 times the murder of blacks on white killing. You got 10 times the amount of blacks killing whites as you do whites killing blacks. Whites are not attacking blacks, sir. Not anymore.
No. That's false. That's false.
Not in any numbers.
No, it's not true. A black man cannot walk in white neighborhood without being harassed and fearful of his life. No, I don't agree to that. But a white man can walk in black neighborhood without not really being attacked.
You have actually just reversed that.
I'm telling you the truth because I've seen both. Except a white woman is going to be the one that will say she might be fearful of her life. A white woman, yes, she might be fearful of her life. I understand. But a white man can walk through black neighborhood. People will just come out looking at him. That's it. But a black man cannot walk in a white neighborhood without the fear that he's either going to be harassed, talked to, or even killed.
He'll be what? Oh, get out of here. That's nonsense. He'll be watched.
What are you talking about? What?
Where's your statistics?
A white man just killed a black and just shot through shot a black guy last time. A 12-year-old black kid was shot by a 60-something-year-old white man 3 months ago. Didn't you see that?
You got 2 of them. Now you want to go over the 1,000 that happened last year?
I have a whole lot. If you want, I can put it up right now. I have my computers.
Numbers are there's no reason to.
I have my computer right now in front of me. I can put it up right here for you, man. I as a black man cannot go into a white neighborhood 6 p.m. at night, walk through white neighborhood out of my car without fearful of my life.
Sir. Yes, you can. That's nonsense.
You're not black.
Hey, hold on. Now, be brave. Be brave. Be brave. We just saw that in Georgia. We just saw a young man walking through a neighborhood in Georgia. 2 white men stopped him. He ended up dead.
I didn't say
he died, man.
Saying by the numbers. You're crazy, both of you. Come on, please, gentlemen. You're a white man. A black man is way safer in a white neighborhood than a white man is in a black inner city neighborhood. Come on, don't try it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Nah. It ain't happening. That's nonsense. Look up the gun memorial. See who's killed.
You know what? We're safer until the police pull up to that house one day, pull that white man out because he's buried his daughter and his wife in the backyard 6 months ago. Right? Because see, that's what happens. You see, and you know what? You may be right. In a black neighborhood, we may be loud and obnoxious in our rhetoric, but white people are very quiet and detailed in theirs. And so that's why you see all these nice neighborhoods, and you say, oh, and you hear the news, breaking news. The pastor that was on TV yesterday crying about his wife and daughter missing, they were found today in his backyard, buried under his shed.
Mm-hmm.
See, so you have to deal with both of them. Be brave.
You gotta go by statistics, fellas. You have to go by statistics. Statistically, you are so much safer in a white neighborhood. It's pathetic over the safe you are in a white neighborhood as opposed to a white man in a black neighborhood.
Love. You're being disingenuous. You're being disingenuous. Let me say it again. If you're a black man earning $60,000 a year, or $100,000 a year, and you move into a white neighborhood of the same earning income bracket with you are going to be safe. I give you that, but you got to give me one. If you're a white man earning $60,000 a year or $100,000 a year, and you move into a black neighborhood of the same income bracket with you're going to be safe. Are you giving me that?
Yes, no, because not as safe. If you're
hold on, be brave. My neighborhood that I live in, be brave. I'm gonna say this, and I'll let you say what you respond to him. And I have my family in a very, very nice neighborhood in a very beautiful home here. And the majority of this neighborhood here was not here when I got here. We built here, and we didn't think that they were going to build on the rest of this huge land everywhere out here. And they start to build because a guy bought it, right? And so the majority of my neighbor is Hispanic. The neighbor on the other side of me is black. The two beside them are black. Then there's another Hispanic guy. There's a white guy across the street. There's another white guy across the street. So we're all blended in this community together, and we don't have any problems. And the majority, and 75% of my neighborhood is African American.
Very good. And I'm not saying that's non-existent. What I'm saying is what I'm referring to is you put a black man in an inner city neighborhood, you're in trouble. Put a white man in an inner city.
Why are you comparing the inner city to an average white guy? Compare trailer trash to inner city. Then we'll be good. That's what I want you to do.
Here's what I'm saying. The white trash isn't tearing up their society.
Who told you that?
I live around them. What do you think? I'm living in a $200,000 home here? I live around all low-income people. It's quiet as a mouse here. Go to a low-income black neighborhood. I dare you, and try to get this much quiet and calm.
Well, according to you, the black neighborhood, according to you, Yusuf, what's up, man? I'm finna let you cook. Hey, according to you, though, earlier, Be Brave, earlier in the podcast here, you said that that those neighborhoods are like that because of redlining, right? Did you agree on that?
No, I didn't say. I said redlining exists. I didn't give them an excuse to be violent and attack people and kill people. I said there's no excuse. They're living like gods. There's no excuse. That's the main crux of my statement. Is no matter how well whites have it, no matter how superior we are at this time, no matter what, you have no reason ever in the last 50 years to send kids out that are in threes and knocking people in the heads, carjacking and shooting each other.
Okay, hold on. Be brave. Be brave. Yes. Hold on. Be brave. That is happening. That is happening. Be brave. You are absolutely 100% correct. Hold on. Watch this. That's happening. Watch this though. Watch this. Because we're building a house on sand and it's sinking here because we're not being balanced. We're being biased. And so what's happening is this. This is what's happening right now. Think about this. Think about being a soldier. And let me back it up. Let me rewind the VH tape before I take it back. Because we're in a situation where think about men who have served the country. And think about our fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers who served in World War I or served in Vietnam or so on and so forth. And they came back home and I have a book here that I would share. I would say the name of it, but I think YouTube will flag me for it because it's a very vicious book. However, it's a pictionary of pictures of soldiers in their uniforms hanging from trees hours after they got home from war. Black soldiers who white men rolled up on and were very violent, cut their penises off and stuffed them in their mouths.
Okay, so
hold on. And they made. I want you to, but I'm saying if you want to do just for a second. Let me be parenthetically petty here for a second. Can we at least think about how it feels to be a black man walking down the street with grocery in a bag and 5 white guys pull over and cut your penis off, stuff it in your mouth, hang you from a tree just because of the color of your skin? We keep saying how violent black people are and how bad the neighborhoods were, but at one point we were in our own neighborhoods, and when you came and fucked with us. We were in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had our own movie theaters, our own churches, our own everything, railroad service and stores, and weren't nobody killing each other then. And the white man decided they have too much. Go down there and put your goddamn foot on their necks.
There's a lot of versions. There's a lot of versions of Tulsa. Number one,
right, exactly. We could say exactly how many towns. But hold on, let me say this. How many towns are underwater right now that were flooded out because they used it to make reservoirs and flooded different towns of black people who were pulling themselves up by the bootstraps? Let's talk about this. Martin Luther King, 2 weeks before he was assassinated, he said, I've lived long enough. He said, man, I have a dream speech. He said, but I lived long enough to see my dream turn into a nightmare because I'm watching the United States use subsidies to help white people buy land, buy property, buy equipment, by seeding, by agriculture, and get into agriculture and sending them to school to be farmers. And black people weren't even mentioned in the bill to even receive funding to build that generational wealth.
Okay, you're right. Now, let's go over the white man cut penises off on people. Okay, take the numbers of that happened. Now, come fast forward 2023. Go see black men that are blowing the brains out of innocent people for the fun of it because they want $20.
So, no. So you saying you want to compare the number of how many slaves or black people have died to the hands of white people in history versus now?
Yes. How many black men came home from the service and got hung and got their penises cut off? How many?
Thousands.
No, there wasn't.
You're
That's
fucking crazy.
That's no.
Okay, so we can go to Rosewood. We could talk about Rosewood, not the movie, the real story. We can talk about Rosewood, where there was a mass grave of babies and women and men thrown into a big ass hole together. We could talk about that, or we can go up to the 1800s where they found bodies. Matter of fact, there was a development in Kentucky where they were about to build homes, and a man was digging with the bulldozer and found a mass grave of 365 people who were murdered by the hands of white men that's been sitting on that ground for 100 years in unmarked graves, and they were just thrown into that hole. Or we can go to the Devil's Punch Bowl in Mississippi, where every year when the flood comes in and it goes into that reservoir and floods back out, they're still finding bones that's 100 years old, 150 years old, of children, women, and men that have not been counted in those numbers that were murdered and violently by white men. So we have to be balanced here.
Okay, so
we have to be balanced here.
So here's my question. Because I've never said whites weren't animals when they need to
animals.
Yeah. So now what I'm saying is this: present. What's happened? Let me ask you this, and I've been honest with you, BMU. I want you to be honest with me. With all of the violence in the inner cities being done by young black men, do you think that's just that we deserve it?
Nobody deserves that.
Whoa.
No. Are you sure? Because you're talking like we got something coming to us.
No. Hey. But from a biblical standpoint, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Listen, hold on. You reap what you sow. So if I plow the ground today and I open the ground up and I put poison ivy on one side, plant poison ivy on one side, and I plant roses on the other side, no matter what, they both are going to grow. So you reap what you sow. Whenever you sow, you will reap. So in the words of Malcolm X, the chicken have come home to roost, if that's what you want to put it as.
That's my
okay, so if that's what you want to say, we can say it like that.
Yes, I'm saying that. So my question is, if whites have it coming, do blacks really want to see whites get it? Because when that happens, it's going to destroy things and make things all that much harder.
I don't want to. No. Let me say this as well. Black people are the most. When it comes to white people, let's just keep it real for a real second. Let me inherit my grandmother's spirit for a second. Black people are the most forgiving people in the world when it comes to white folks. Do you understand? Let me give you an example. Slaves. There were slaves. Hold on. Let me give you an example. There were slaves who were 6 foot. There were men slaves who were 6'2", 225, solid, build muscle, and they let a 5'7" white man tell them what to do, whoop them, and grape their women every day. That man, we are forgiving people, because now, fast forward to 2023, are you able to come into my house? I'm 6'1", 315, and take my daughter and grape my daughter in front of me and slap my wife in front of me? No, because you'll be buried next Saturday. So we're not as forgiving as we used to be.
Right. So my point is, and also that 5-foot man had the white system behind him. He didn't do it as a white man. You guys weren't that forgiving. You just knew that white man, if you killed him, you were going to get it.
Oh, no. Ignorance of killing that white man, because there was no plan. Nat Turner killed 76 in one night.
Right.
So hold on. There was no plan in order. And if you wanted to plan something, just let's say it parenthetically here, we planned something. There's no way you can tell me 300 slaves who run a house every day, the master don't do nothing, who run a house every day could not disappear that master and live on that land forever. And every white person that came to buy a slave, we buried his ass too.
Man, I tell you what, BMU, I think back when during the slavery. And there were very few whites that owned slaves. It was just
my God.
No, anyway, just never mind about. Okay, forget that. I'm wrong on that.
No, he's right about that actually.
He's right. No, here's how this goes. I'm telling you, those black men were forgiving. They were smart.
Smart to let their wives get raped and their daughters get raped and their sons deleted. And their babies taken. Can you be brave? Have you ever been in that situation? Have you ever seen somebody? You have children? I'm asking, do you have children?
Listen, I'm not denying any of that. What I'm saying is, right now, at this time, all that matters is you've got black kids tearing up the country across in the inner city.
So what's the solution? Hold on. Okay.
No, I want to know, what do you want to do? Do you want to let it go?
What's the solution? What's the solution?
The The solution is to build a lot of facilities everywhere and fill them with animals that will shoot up their own neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. And we just discovered 89% of the people that are in prison right now that are color, women and men combined, are in jail for nonviolent crimes. So the majority of people in prison ain't did no crime violently.
You're right. Here's what I said, BMU. I said, build facilities across the nation and fill them up with violent, psychopathic young men that will shoot at their neighbors. That's who you put in jail.
And what percentage of those would be Caucasian?
Not very little.
Okay.
Very little.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that's the problem. You can't lock up the violent psychopaths because then people claim it's disproportionate. It's like, no, they're the ones doing it.
Be brave. Let me tell you something. I've spoken with people, and if you want to go back and watch a few of my shows, I've spoken to Sheree B. Chicago, right? Because she's in Chicago. That's where she lives, right? And so I've spoken to people that actually live in the places where you say the violence is, and a lot of the people that say yes, it is violent in certain areas, but the media puts on a huge, all right? It makes it a huge disadvantage for people. When people look at it, they say, oh, shit, yeah, it's violent as hell in Chicago. She said, no, it's not like that. You got one area, a place that's violent like that. They're shooting at each other every day, possibly, but it's not as violent as the media portrays. And see, it's amazing that CNN and MSNBC and Fox News will say another shooting in Chicago, but you want to another shooting in Chicago. It's amazing that these media outlets will go and talk about 5 billionaires that was in a sun-kissed tuna fish can that got crushed going to the Titanic, but we won't talk about 700 immigrants who drowned in the damn ocean. We won't talk about the 1,500. We're talking about 1,000 shootings in Chicago, but we're not talking about the 1,500 black women who come up missing in Washington, D.C. Is that on CNN and NBC every day? Well, little girls are 7 or 8 years old. They're not being shot. They're being kidnapped and sold. And who is the main proprietor of selling human bodies and human trafficking? Let's talk about the skin color of those people. So let's be real about what it is. We could talk about 300 being shot in Chicago, but are we going to look? I want you to Google it right now. Google the number of black women who have come up missing in Washington, D.C., and California on a daily basis. These women are coming up missing, not to violence, but to kidnapping and put into trafficking. So we want to talk about those lives being lost, but these baby girls, that's not on TV. You don't see it. Media don't care about these black girls coming up missing. They care about putting one neighborhood in Chicago on TV, but we're not putting the 3,000 girls a year, 5,000 girls a year, black girls who come up missing. We're not talking about the kids down at the border who are 7 years old, haven't seen their mama in 2 years, wrapped in foil in a fence like they're fucking dogs. So see, we don't talk about the real shit. We talk about the little violent area in Chicago, but we're not talking about everything else. So what are we doing here?
Black man of filter, look at it this way, okay? There is something he's not talking about. In the 90s, when the crack epidemic was happening, you know what they did? They took all these men and women and locked them up that had drug problem, not the sellers. I'm not talking about the drug dealers. The people that need medical help, they took them and locked them up. Guess what happened?
Where was this?
I'm talking about, this is the 90s, the 90s.
Oh, the 90s, okay.
The 80s and the 90s. But fast forward to 2015, when that shit hit the white neighborhood, what did they do? They start building hospitals. They start building rehabilitation centers to take them into rehabs.
Yeah, it went from being crackhead criminals to epidemic of
epidemic. The thing is this, let me put it this way. They always out to protect their own. They will always protect their own.
B. Brave said that earlier. He said that earlier.
Good. So they will always protect their own. So what we have to do is find a way to start building ours and start protecting our own. When you see a black person with drug problem out there, don't call police. Get a help for him. If you see a black woman that is abusing drug, get a help for her.
Listen.
Let's start putting our own in hospitals. Because what they do is that they get the media. They have the media that paint ours look bad. We got to start building our own medias and start bringing up awareness. That is why when I watch shows like Chaotic, I just laugh because you know why I laugh? Ignorance is a disease. When a black man is ignorant of his own, he's sick. But if a black man understands that this war is of race, then he's going to understand that take what you have and empower your own people. Start preaching about the drugs, the crimes in the black neighborhood, the victims of those crimes. Not the perpetrators, but talk about the victims. Start finding help for the victims. Report the victims are people being committed, that people that the crime is always done to. Report the victims as victims. Don't report the victims as part of the crime, because that's the problem. They report the victims as part of the crime. They only report somebody that has a drug issue or used as a drug experiment as a criminal instead of somebody that needs their help. But to them, that 15-year-old Blake that took fentanyl is a victim. But the Dwayne that took fentanyl is a drug addict.
Yeah, okay. Fellas, here's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying here. I'm saying there's a group of young men that are tearing apart black neighborhoods all across this nation. It's spreading out. It's affecting everything. Now, I don't care what you want to say. If you don't want to confront that, because that's sucking the life out of our culture right now. Financially, socially, people are can't go downtowns anymore. Businesses are moving. Walmarts are moving because of a small group of people. That's affecting the black race way more than it is the white race. If you think you don't want to do anything about what I'm talking about, and somehow you don't want to do that, it's only the black race that's going to suffer the most. That's how it is. Hey, let the other fella. Who's the other fella?
Yusuf. What's going on, man? What you got for us, bro?
Wow, you both are just. I'm just like here, just like going nodding my head to both of your points at the same time. Neither one of you are wrong about what you're saying. Be Brave is more focused on, and I believe rightfully so, the present, as in not just necessarily today, but the last 20, 30 years. I've been pulled over by nothing but white cops several times. In some cases, I knew I was guilty of the things I did. Speeding a lot of times and getting it and just like, yeah, white cops. Yeah, I know what I was speeding. He just looked at me like quite a few of them. All right, man, here, just go. Or they'll give me a really light ticket. You know, I show up to court and it's white judges that let me off the hook. So all of this racism thing, I don't, from my experience and having dealt with a lot of white people, especially where I live at, it's just not the case. However, that's not to diminish what has happened in the past and the effects of that. For example, BMU, your reference about the rose and the poison ivy, that's true to a lot of extent. A lot of us have been raised by, at least my father, and we were told about things that happened in his past, and that type of stuff that we hear happen to them, it causes a seed of resentment within us. And that gets passed down to our sons, who then go on to become more destructive because they see, oh, you know, my great-grandfather, my father, or their father had went through this, and it's already in their head that this is the cause, is the white man. And so they go and do things that's destructive, and they say, well, I'm in this area, and I'm here because the white man. But they're disassociated from the present time, which has very little to do with what happened 50, 60 years ago during the Jim Crow era, which we don't live in anymore. But we keep going back to those times as if we do. It's like I said, both of you have great points.
No, but and my point, Joseph, is this. There's something, it's, I think, what do they call it? Triage. If a house is burning down, you can't worry about what happened in the past. You got to put the fire out. You don't even get to look at the cause. Just put the damn fire out. That's what firemen do. And then the investigators come in. What I'm saying is black, young, psychopath, violent young black men are tearing the black community to pieces.
That's why we
Nobody's
left.
saying anything about it.
And that's actually why I left. Because I've lived in the opposite of the neighborhood I live in now.
Black people, how dare you blame white people for anything if we're the ones you're running to?
Well, we learn from the best. But let me say this.
Learn.
if we're as violent as the white men before us, we have learned from the best. But let me ask you this question, because we talk about how violent it is, and you used to say he moved from that community or whatever. For me, I guess God has blessed me with a gift. I can go into those communities right now and relate to all those people. And I'm not a thug. I'm not out here killing people. I'm not out here doing this, right? I can go in there and talk to people. I can go up to those guys with that gun and be like, hey, dude, why do you have that? Because I have the ability to go do that. My question for you, though, Be Brave, is that as a white man yourself, what are you're talking about these things and you're throwing these things on the table. What is it about, before we continue, guys, hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that like button, get those likes up, because this is a good conversation. But what are you doing as a white man in this country? What are you doing to help with those situations? What are you doing as a person? Because we can complain and have concerns, but we have to have a end game. So what is your solution to the problem?
Right quick, I have to comment. It's comical. You're 6'1" and 300 pounds. You can go anywhere and not have a problem.
No, exactly.
All right, then. So that don't count. Jeez. Okay, now, what am I doing? BMU, you think as articulate as I am about certain matters of life, that I haven't been looking into everything? As a white man who could have easily taken the easy way, kept my eyes closed, played my white privilege out to its fullest, I didn't. I don't want credit for what I did. But what I am is I'm real. That's what I've done in this life. You don't know anybody that's as real as me. You don't. Not a white man. Not a white man. Nobody on here knows a white man that's as real as me or is willing to say what I'm saying. That's what I've done in this life. If you don't think there's value in that, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, this is a black channel, so the fact that he's here, I mean, it would be the equivalent of us going to an all-white panel with a mostly white audience.
Yeah, and you know what? Let me tell you something.
None of us would probably do it.
Right. Oh, I've done it. Yusuf, I've been on a panel where when I went up, they were actually talking about black men, and black men ain't shit. They're not good husbands. They're not good fathers. They're not this. They're not that. And I ended up on that panel, and I held my own to the point they muted me and kicked me. Because you know what I'm saying, you just, like I'm saying, if you stay ready, you never have to get ready. And so so I can go, like I said, I can go into any arena and do very well. But we got Dr. Nkumbe in here today. Dr. Nkumbe, what's going on, man? After Dr. Nkumbe, we're going to end the show, guys.
Yes. Hello, everyone. And I've been tuning in and out a little bit, so somewhat caught up. I have some questions that are from previous. And please tell me, because I'm using my phone, so I can't even see your name. Tell me your name again, sir.
Be Brave.
Be brave. All right, thank you. So one, thank you for being here and for enlightening us. And you're right, it's rare that I find the Caucasian to do so.
You're right. Yes.
So I do thank you for that. The problem, that same salute that I offer you, I also challenge the problem that comes with it. You are the one to do something about it or to speak to it.
Right.
We need more than the one.
I don't know what to tell you.
We need the institution. We need the system. And then are you also going to those systems and are going to those institutions willing to do the same advocacy?
I don't care where every national talk show on this in the U.S. talk show host, damn near every one of them know who I am because of what I say. I weigh in and I tell conservatives they're mentally ill.
Right, without the mask. And I mean, like, see, I mean, because there's like and I don't mean like I'm mocking the mask. What I mean is, right, like I'm here as the doc. When I'm actually working at the hospitals using my credentials, so then it's professional to professional. So when you're going to those institutions, are you going as an advocate, or are you willing to put your name on the line? Are you using your resources? And you may be retired now, so what I mean by resources, are you like professional to professional? Does that make sense?
No, what I'm doing is I've always done it in my life. I'm retired. I have been outspoken, and I have I don't care whether it's black or white. I have always spoken about human dignity and who's taking it and who's messing with it. I'm not interested in doing too much work at this time. When you get old, you'll find you don't have a lot of energy, and what little energy I got, I'm 68. Right. I'm not going to spend it trying to go up against the black inner city violence when really it's being ignored by most
Right.
people and
Okay.
apologized and made excuses for. So I'm not
Okay.
going to go up against that wave or that force. It's
Yep.
not. It's not.
So
worth
that
it.
makes that makes sense. I mean, I suggest even our people when they get old, they probably need to know when to sit down and get out the way. So that makes sense. Here's the other challenge that I have for you, and I understand that you're talking about current day. A lot of the work that I do, I use a past. I mean, Adlerian, blah 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 blah. So everything's about the root. So when I think about the root, and it's not so much that I want to go to slavery, even if we only had a handful, it's about the people who have the power. So it could be 1,000 blacks and only 2 whites. And if the whites have the power and the blacks feel intimidated, but the intergenerational trauma. So even though you might have less white people in the neighborhood actually killing people, the impact of the trauma from the kids, the mothers, from generation to generation to generations, and yes, it gets passed on. And I don't mean like a mom gives depression to the baby, but due to the cortisol and all that, it gets passed on. So 500 years later, we're still acting out on the traumas that happened. And then, hey, go to that community and do it. And if we do our own work and clean it up, we get a small pat on the back or a salute to say, good job, you cleaned some of it up. But then if we try to grow or progress, they shut that shit down. So when we talk about what we don't do and what blacks don't do, we're only allowed to do so much because at a certain point, we have to go to an institution or someplace to ask for resources, to ask for permission, even to build an add-on to the house. We need to go to the man. So at the end of the day, it is still the white people who are holding the whole world back.
Right.
But you say, go live there. I don't want to be next to you. But yet at the same time, you say you care. That's a contradiction.
No. You don't. You can't take my empathy away from me because I don't want to live to a potentially kid moving in that's going to shoot up my neighborhood. You can't take my empathy away from me.
Okay, but are you helping them at the mental health clinic so then that they don't have to feel like they need to shoot up people?
Here's the thing. Right now in America, those kids, I don't care about past. I don't care. They're not thinking about the past. They're thinking about going and robbing somebody and knocking out of an old woman. And they're not hungry. It's because they're doing it for fun. Now,
correct.
I don't know if you can say it's epigenetic. I'm not buying that because you're taking away all of the people that decided, screw epigenetics. I'm going to go get an education and I'm going to make something of myself. You know how many blacks did that lived a life of shit? So I'm saying there's a small number of kids. What we're not realizing, what we're not facing, is that small number of kids, and I explained it earlier, that have been made by 2 blacks that shouldn't have made babies because of their minds, and they made 100,000 of them. Those are in the black communities.
Okay. So let me change the word trauma, and my apologies for cutting you off. Let me change the word trauma. If you plant an apple seed, you get an apple tree. Right. And that tree drops the seeds and you get more apple trees. So we have a community of whatever fruit you want to call us. So regardless how far back you can go back as far as last night. If the tree that is rooted from is an apple tree, then we have apples to deal with. Right. The ones who are dropped or started out, they don't know about yesterday and they don't give a shit about yesterday. They don't even value yesterday. They value today and what's going, and be lucky if they value tomorrow. It's in the moment. However, since the resources, the tree that's on the other side of town is not the same apple tree, it doesn't have the same ingredients and same problems and same lack of resources. Now, black people can get resources, but then again, for some reason, the second it becomes significant, there's a problem and they get shut down or they don't get the same amount of money or support.
That's why I thank the corporate machine for so much that it does for us. But let me put it like this then, Doc. Okay, we're going to take the 2 races. Okay, we're going to take the 2 races collectively, the races. What do we want to do? Because I'm going to tell you what. If I see somebody that's killing somebody, I no longer care about anything other than killing that person to stop them from doing it again. I don't care if it's white or black. At a certain point, a society that's under attack as it is now from the inner city youth psychopathic murderers that are robbing and killing, the attack that is occurring now, we can't play guess what happened. We've got to destroy that. And then look into the past. And then make sure it don't happen again. And look at what the past created. Right now, the house is burning down. That's what's happening. And now my point is you can keep looking for reasons, we got to do what is collectively, as an individual would do. Collectively, we got to do self-preservation now. If we don't do it, we're in trouble. It's called you have a right to live. I don't care about what happened to you. I'm going to kill you if you do something to me and threaten my life. I don't care about your
Be brave. Let me tell you something.
I'll wrap it up. So what I'm saying is, as the collective, we can decide to kill them bastards, or we can look for reasons why they're doing it for the next 20 years, why they're killing us for 20 years.
Now, Doc, I'm finna let you get in there, but let me say this. I'm gonna let Freeze get in there, but let me say this real quick. There are people who will sit outside of a burning house and argue with each other why the house caught fire and what was the cause of the fire. And then there's people who would run in the house and see if there's anybody in there to save from the fire. What you're doing is standing outside the house, watching the house burn. People are screaming inside, and you're trying to figure out how the house caught fire instead of trying to figure out how to get the people out of the fire.
No, I'm not
doing. That's exactly
I'm not. I'm not worried about what caused the fire. That was my point earlier. I'm worried about putting the fire out. How do you put the fire out? You kill murderers.
Okay, so so we're going to kill murderers. Then we need to open up the prisons and let out all the school shooters, the movie theater shooter, the Las Vegas shooter. We need to get them all out and put them out in front of a firing squad and just
I'm game.
Right, that's what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
That's what you're saying?
Damn right. Now we're talking.
Okay, now I want to see now particularly with the average. Now let's say 14-year-old Johnny shot someone. So I want to see Be Brave. No. I want to see Be Brave walk up to a 14-year-old white kid and just shoot him.
Okay, you think I would? Wait a minute.
There you go. There you go.
But BMU, that makes sense though.
Is the white kid in my life?
It makes sense.
No, hold it.
Is self-elimination. Meaning if we go in and kill all the blacks.
Please, sir. No, please. Is the white kid threatening my life?
Huh?
Is the white kid threatening my life, BMU?
Absolutely.
You said more whites killed at home.
And I want to, and when the cop comes out there, the 14-year-old that I killed, I want to put my foot on him like a game hunt. Yeah, I got this little bastard.
Yes, it's just in the blood, isn't it? Listen,
I would do
if you think about it, BMU, if we
did it out so you can see it, so you can have something to work with. Go ahead.
Yeah, if we did exactly what you're saying, Mr. Be Brave,
I'm not saying exactly that. I'm not saying
no,
do it.
I said if we did exactly as you suggested, if we run in the house that's burning and we take care of the fires, at the end of the day, it will be less people committing the fires and less firefighter or less fire helpers, or whatever you want to call it. The numbers work in your favor that if we have 10 fires to deal with and we snuff our own out, there's less work for your people to do. Considering you have 100 houses and let's say we only have 50 houses, 25 of our 50 are burning, it works in your favor. So I hear when you celebrate, hey, do what you got to do. Your people are a mess and go take care of it. If you want to do something about it, go take care of it. Don't blame us. So yeah, you're right. If we go do something about it, it works in the favor because either we get it cleaned up or we burn up. The question is, are your people, the ones who are watching from across the street, the house burn, are you willing to put your hands in there and also help to rescue and then also help to make sure that we don't cause more fires? Because at the end of the day, it's one people, right? All of us together? Or are you interested in us just staying apart forever?
Oh, I want us to stay apart until we get our heads together. No, we don't get to just come together because the corporate machine says, let's live together. No. White neighborhoods are very calm and crime-free, and I want that to stay that way. Black neighborhoods like he lives in are very calm. He needs it to stay that way. That's where black people need to go. They need to find BMUs and get around BMUs and make your black crime-free neighborhoods. That's what I want. And then after that is when, because the white women want black men, they're going to mix. Black women want white men, they're going to mix. Then the mixing starts. But right now I'm saying we need to separate and we need to appoint to who's tearing shit down right now. It's small teenage, it's teenage black kids. And I don't care the analogy of the house fire. I'm telling you, that there's nobody in the house. I'm saying we put the fire itself is those kids. If that house needs put out, those kids need put out. Somebody, we better do it, and we better get it done fast.
So, hold on. So be brave. Can I ask you a question? Be brave. Have you ever done something in your life that you should be shot for?
No.
So,
no, I haven't.
Let me ask the question again. Be brave. In 68 years,
yes,
you come up in a time where you were not favorable toward people like me.
No.
You mean to tell me you have never done anything in your life that somebody want to shoot your ass for?
I've always been favorable for blacks, sir. I'm telling you. Now, number two, no, I haven't done anything I should be shot for.
In 68 years of living, no man wanted to fuck you up. No man wanted to do anything to you.
Not shoot. I've fucked wives. I suppose if the husbands found out, I'd be in trouble.
Oh, so that's something.
Okay. You may have me on that one. Okay. I did do something I could be shot for. I fucked a lot of married women.
Oh. And so do you deserve to be? You didn't put a.
No, because I didn't hurt anybody. The women made the choices.
You didn't hurt anybody. Now this is a delusional. You being
no, it's not. I didn't hurt anybody. The women made the choices.
You put in your penis in another man's wife, and another man is taking care of that woman, and you're sneaking in his house when he's not there.
In his house. It's all done at work.
We don't need a bunch of be braves in our neighborhoods fucking our wives.
You don't. No. I ain't going to anybody's house fucking them. It's all done at work. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Well, if you go the religious route, that's a violation. And if you
don't care. The point is,
that's the key right there. That's the key. And I really don't know the purpose of the call, but that's the key. You don't give a fuck about anything or anybody.
I'm not bragging. I did not hit on a married woman. I've never hit on.
You let me know when I can get in there, bro.
I'll step down. Be brave. I appreciate the opportunity to dialogue with you. I appreciate it.
Dr. Nakube, love you, brother.
Hey, Doc, how you doing, Doc?
Freezy. What's up?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Good to see you guys. And hello to those in the chat. Peace.
All right, Doc.
Freezy, what you got, Freezy?
Yeah. So, I see that my main man, Brave and Be Brave and Think, he's sensationalizing violence amongst Black people, and I see he's concentrating on the inner cities.
Wait a minute, sensationalizing. What do you mean by that?
You're sensationalizing it because I noticed that I noticed that you're concentrating on the inner cities.
Yes.
Right. There are more Black. Just please don't get too right. Just let me finish my point because I've been sitting back pretty patient.
Yeah, you sure have.
There are more Black suburban neighborhoods. Probably, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 5 times more than inner city residences. Okay. And let me finish. And in those areas are very low crime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm looking at which is a credible source, the Office of Justice Programs, right? And it's stating the estimated number of arrests by offense and race from 2020 up until this point. When it comes to Black and white people have 4 million more arrests than Black people.
All in their homes. They're not out in the streets.
No, let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So I just want you to understand this. Nobody's refuting the violence that's going on in the inner cities.
Right.
It's a fact.
Okay.
Right. So. But I want you to understand. I had a conversation with one of my colleagues the other day, and it was just an amusing conversation. How would you feel? You ever thought about how you would feel waking up white? A lot of these Black kids are going to the public schools, learning white history. They're the disadvantaged, the disenfranchised from the gate.
Yeah.
And I heard Joseph Benjamin say he hasn't experienced racism, or it's just not a thing in these present times.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand that what you're seeing today, as far as those small number of Black people that you're speaking on, right? It is a residual effect from slavery and from the treatment of white Caucasians throughout history. So I want to say this.
They're living too comfortably.
Let me finish. Let him
rock.
And so to conclude what I'm saying, you would be lying if you did not admit that the biggest homosexual in the United States of America is the white race.
Yeah.
The biggest rapist in the United States is the white race. Okay. The biggest murderer in the United States is the white race. Okay, I'm about to do a story. They just found cocaine in the White House on the West Wing. Would you consider those people thugs?
No.
What? No. You don't know this information because you're so I'm going to go back to the beginning of my soliloquy.
You gotta let me say something somewhere.
I will. You got to show a little patience because you've been up here. I just got here, sir.
I know, but come on.
I just got here.
Okay. But no, I can't sit here and
the reason why you don't know they found cocaine in the White House on the West Wing is because you're too caught up and sensationalized with black people in inner cities, which is a small. Let me finish. Which is a small percentage.
I know that.
Which is a small percentage in America when it comes to crime.
Yes.
And I just gave you facts.
Yes.
And I just read a source. Would you? If you're going to speak to anything, speak to that, my good sir.
I am speaking to this. Me and BMU went over it earlier. I know whites are crazy. I know they do crime. It's in the house.
No, they're the biggest. They're the biggest perpetrators of crime. Say that.
No, in the house. Yeah, okay.
No, not in the house, sir. You're lying. You're lying, sir. It's not in the house.
No. Whites do more crime than blacks. Now. Who's tearing up the society? Blacks or whites?
White people.
Well, then
I want to hold on.
I just proved that to you.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at. If you think those kids shooting up the inner cities all across the nation,
you want to stay on the inner cities,
yes,
but you don't
have to because that's what's.
Let's go out of the inner. Do you live in the inner city, sir?
It doesn't matter. I've got a right to talk about
young blacks. It does matter, sir. It matters a lot. It matters a lot, sir.
It doesn't. No. This is my country.
But so often, let me tell you something, BMU, and I'm gonna yield my time, BMU. So often, right? Because I've been watching you for about 30 minutes now. Shout out to BMU Network. So often, it's the poor whites that take pride in targeting inner city crime because it makes them feel better about themselves.
If that's what I'm doing, fine.
Yes, that's exactly what you're doing.
Okay, then I'm not going to try to reverse your thinking on that, sir.
No, you don't have to. I'm giving you facts. I just gave you facts, but you just been up here spewing nonsense.
I'm
cocaine in the White House, and this is the National House of America.
I hate to break it to you, but I'll guarantee you, the people that had that cocaine in the White House, people still want to live around them.
How do you wait? How do you know that, sir? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, sir. There are black people in the White House too. You do know that, right?
Sir, look, I know.
No, speak to that because there are black people in the White House too. You want to make this a white thing? No, sir. There's cocaine was found in the West Wing of the White House.
And people still want to live by them white people.
But there's black people in the White House too.
I know.
But what I'm telling you, in the West Wing is where what you say, sir?
It just boils down to what's worse.
It's talking about.
And I just proved to you I just proved to you what's worse in America. The white race is worse than any race in America.
No.
The biggest drugs. He's talking about violence, which is
in the interstate.
Sir, hold up, Joseph. I just read to you a credible source where white people are arrested more for violence in America.
Each other in their homes.
But the reason why black people such as Joseph and other black people I met in his fashion, first of all, they don't read. And they don't come to these conversations prepared. Okay? And be brave. doesn't read. All he does is spew racist comments against black people in inner city America. That's the only place he can deal with.
Okay.
That's the only place he can deal with black inner cities.
Very good.
But you have to ask yourself, why does he target these places? Because you know why? He can get away with saying there is high crime in black inner cities in America, which is a fact.
It's just reality. It's reality, man. Like, I'm a black man. He's okay. You won't take it from him? You would say, well, some people would say, oh, he's a coon. Okay, cool. I've lived in inner cities for more than half of my life. I've seen the stark contrast.
But sir, did you just
wait, chill. Relax. I'm going to take just 30 seconds.
So you want to talk about inner cities too?
30. It's a fact. There's no way around it. Now,
okay, so what about the other stuff I said that was facts? Do you want to speak on that, Joseph?
Well,
of course you don't.
Wait, dude. You really don't have to.
No, you don't want to speak on that. You just bro, listen. I'm not calling you a coon. You called yourself a coon.
I'm just saying, drop the link in the private chat or in the comment section so we all can see this statistical fact, because there are more white people in America, so it would make sense that more of them get arrested because they outnumber us by the millions. I mean, they just
Who cares? But if you're talking about violence, I hate black people who give white people out significantly. I do not like black people who give white people out.
If I was living around white people, and they
what you're doing, you're skating over the fact. You're skating over the fact that percentage-wise, white people get arrested 3 times, 4 times more than black people. Okay? And a lot of that is violence included. Okay? You're excluding the fact. You're skating over the... listen, Joseph.
Reality, man.
You're excluding the fact that white people are the biggest homosexuals in America. You're excluding the fact that white people are the biggest rapists. Hold on, sir. You're excluding the fact that white people are the biggest rapists in America. You're excluding the fact that white people are the biggest sex traffickers in America. But you, Joseph, you just want to concentrate on the few impoverished black kids in inner city America, which don't make a damn difference in the economy.
It doesn't. Okay.
I'm through trying to convince him. I'm not.
You don't have to convince me. I got the facts and I read. And I've heard you talk a few times on these panels. You're not going to just come up here and just try to target black people. Because let me tell you why I take this passionately. There might be young black kids looking at these podcasts, listening to you, thinking that they're not worth shit.
Well,
when black people, let me tell you something. Black people in this country have actually jumped great lengths and knocked down big ass walls to get to where we are right now today.
Degeneracy?
You my good sir, are a poor white man who probably would have stormed the damn Capitol a few years ago. You would have been right there with them damn people.
No. We went over that. BMU and I went over that. You're coming in late, and please, sir, let the panel move on.
No, I'm not. No, I'm gonna go, but Joseph needs to know it. I'm done talking to my boy in the trailer. But Joseph need to know this here.
Oh my God,
Joseph, before you and I'm saying this with love, my brother.
Okay.
Before you denigrate young black Americans, impoverished black Americans, disenfranchised black Americans, understand that from birth, when they enter into the public school system, psychology is a real thing, my brother. White kids are at advantage from pre-K, from history, math, science. Understand that this is not our land. Right now, it's not. They have conquered this land, and they are dictating what's being taught and what who they're going to teach it to.
Those kids are living better than anybody on the planet. They're living like that.
No, they're not, sir.
Yes, they're living like that.
Why? Because why? Why do you feel that way?
because they got heating, air conditioner, cars, television, food, cell phones,
and other people on the planet don't.
Not like inner city black.
Bro, you sound ignorant as hell.
Living the better than any blacks on the planet.
You can stop it.
Real talk. Stop it, bro.
So you have a lot of black people from many parts of the world who make the journey to come to America specifically because black people have it better than we don't know it because we live in it. Those of us who don't travel outside the country,
they're not
we think everything is so bad here. But when I've talked to a lot of black immigrants, and I live in Michigan, so I asked one guy who came from the Gambia. I said, "What the hell?" He was wearing shorts, and it's like 30 degrees outside and it's snow and blizzard. I said, "What the hell are you doing here?" He said, I just want to come out of the opportunity. He was out there door dashing like I was. Now that opportunity for him to do what I was doing in America, it wasn't so easily to do in the Gambia. They're the ones that's living below the poverty line. So that's just speaking to that specific fact. You're saying that it's not a
Benjamin,
fact.
Mr. Benjamin, you're wrong. You're wrong, Mr. Benjamin. So
explain.
Across seas, in foreign lands, there is a bigger chance for you to become a millionaire in Africa right now. Okay, there's a bigger chance for you to become a millionaire in Africa than it is for you in the United States of America as a black man. You need to do your research, sir. Right now, in 2023 and past 2022, there's been an influx of passport bros who are leaving this country by the droves.
But guess what?
Hold on, sir. All you're doing is repeating white rhetoric.
What are they using to do so?
This is what you're doing. You're repeating white rhetoric, sir.
They would never sacrifice their American citizenship for these
sir, there are people.
They would never sacrifice the American dollar they make in order to live in those countries.
Sir. There are people that live in foreign lands that have no intentions of moving to America.
Okay, so I'm all wrong. Could we please? Look.
No intentions.
Look, fellas. Okay, me and you, whoever you are, I didn't meet your name, Bees or something. But listen.
No captivity with Freezy.
Okay, yeah, we don't agree. We're not going to. So now we just got to say
you don't agree with facts.
That's all I'm asking. Where's the damage? Look where the damage is. Look up the Gun Violence Memorial. Look at the inner cities. Look at the closed circuit television across the nation. Look at it.
Bro, do you want to just stay in the inner cities, bro? If you just want to talk about the inner cities, just talk about the inner cities.
Up other black people.
Okay, like you care.
I do.
I'm gonna let somebody else go. Go ahead.
You can stay, Freezy. Lost in Translation podcast is in the building tonight. What's going on, Lost in Translation? What are your thoughts so far? And I got you, Trey. I see a question down there for Freezy. Freezy, look in the chat, and you can answer that in a few minutes. Go ahead,
man. Thank you for having me up, and be brave. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. I want to keep this conversation above board because I think sometimes these conversations get derailed, but I just want to point to a few things that we should pay attention to. Now, here's my thing about America. America does a very good job of hiding its racism. And I'll give you some examples too.
You don't have to. I agree. You don't have to.
Be brave. Let him get it out.
Let me talk.
I agree.
He's been waiting. Be brave. Let him get it out. Come on now.
Let me give you a few examples. Okay. Now, if you go to any white municipality and you go into their traffic court, now the majority of this neighborhood is white. Go in there and tell me how many white people are actually in there for traffic violations versus how many people in there black. That kind of speaks to the hidden portion of racism. Now, the court system has a very, very long history of actually being disingenuous when it comes to black people. They put on these heavy fines on black people. They send them to jail for unnecessary stuff. That actually takes money out of our pockets for our community for us to do what we need to do. Those are the things that we don't really talk about because nobody wants to tackle that situation because it's kind of hard to prove, but that's just one of those things you got to see. Now, to also bring into consideration that America has been slipping over the last few years, and racism has actually had its hand in it. And I'll give you an example. About 30 years ago, if you went to Dubai, it was basically a desert. Okay. Now, if you look at Dubai now, it's probably one of the richest, most beautiful countries on this planet. You know why? Because they have zero crime and they don't have racism. Now, imagine what America could look like. Listen.
No, you don't.
Imagine, listen to me. Let me speak.
Go ahead.
Imagine what America could look like if we set our differences aside. That's all I'm saying.
I'm imagining what America would look like if you would just take a small percentage of the black race and put them in jail where they belong. The black community would thrive.
Who's to say it's not thriving now? Let me explain something to you.
Hold on,
wait a minute. Be brave. Let me explain something to you.
Dubai is not racist.
Listen. Let me give you another example. Okay.
Go ahead.
Let me give you another example. Okay.
Dubai.
Now, who owns the media? Whoever owns the media controls the narrative in this story.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but Mark Zuckerberg is very good at using algorithms. So much so that also other companies like YouTube and all these other places like to use the algorithm. Okay. What you focus on, what you click on the most is what you'll see. You know what I mean? My thing is this: if they put more videos of black people and black kids going to school and graduating from colleges like they do when they show cops, then the narrative will change. People
Big
like
facts.
you wouldn't have such a vitriol to locking black people up. But nobody, here's my thing, nobody on NBC, Fox, or anything like that gets up and says, Mr. James Johnson graduated from Harvard, first black in his community. Nobody does that. You know why? Because it does not sell. Racism plays into the fear of people, and it really does. And when I see people talk about things like that, it speaks to the fear in them. But my question is, how do we get over that fear? No, let me finish.
Statistics.
Let me finish.
Okay.
How do we get past this fear? It's not through separation. Listen, sir.
Hey, be brave.
It's not through separation. It's through integration and getting to know your neighbors. And leaving and separating and all this other stuff, that does not work. It doesn't. It does not work because it doesn't break down stereotypes. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't have any malice towards you or anything like that. I really don't. But my thing is this: I see fear in your eyes. I see fear. You know why I see fear? You know why I see fear? I don't have on a mask. I'm from the South.
Okay.
I'm from the belt buckle of racism in Birmingham, Alabama. So nobody can tell me about racism. I live in it. But you know what? Here's the thing about it. What people don't understand. Birmingham is a much better place now because people have put racism aside. We have a black mayor, a young black mayor doing fantastic things. He's made this city way, way better than what it used to be. We've got new stadiums, brand new schools. Matter of fact, he put in a program that actually allows those students who have C all the way up to A grades to go to city schools or city colleges for free. You see what I'm saying? Those are the things that we're doing. We're not telling people to lock people up or anything like that. We're actually educating people, but nobody will ever tell you about that unless you have a face-to-face conversation with people like me. That's all I'm saying. All I'm telling you is this.
I got to cut you off real quick. I'm so sorry.
Listen, all I'm saying is this. Let me finish. I'm going to land the plane. All I'm saying is this. You don't have to fear us because we're not looking to get our pound of flesh back. Because I think that's what you guys are thinking. We're not a violent people. We're not a violent people by nature, sir. We're not.
I got the mask on.
Let me say something. Let me say something real quick, bro. The mayor that you just said right now, which is that young fellow, the mayor of Alabama, right?
The mayor of
Birmingham, Alabama, right?
Yes, sir.
He's a black man, right?
Yes, he is.
Because I remember when he was elected.
Yes, sir.
That's why they don't want you there. Because black men get a job. Black men think about community. You get a job done.
We get it done.
You want your kids. You want things. You love your sons and daughters. You want it done. But do you know who they put up there? They put the person that is only interested in herself, what she wants, or her children. That's it.
Right.
She don't think about community. So when black men were building black community, guess what was happening? The community was thriving.
Right.
But to destroy the community, guess what they did? They took the black men out of it. They shipped the factories to China, right?
Right.
And the black man can't get a job.
Right.
And because he can't get a job, they start giving her what? Welfare. And she's like, well, if you can bring money home, you can stay in this house. She turned around and blamed the white man for doing that. But she had a choice, right?
Right.
And that's what they're doing. They keep giving her a job. Look at Dallas, city of Dallas. The lawyers are 6 female lawyers. They don't want a black man there. They gave 6 female lawyers. I had a black woman telling me a few days ago, she told me, I don't see anything good for black people because of those 6 female lawyers. But if they had put 6 male black lawyers there, they knew change was coming. They knew change was going to come. But they don't want you. Because wherever you go, you fix it.
And the thing about it is nobody wants to give us credit for when we bring people together and get things done.
They want to concentrate on the inner cities.
Right. But here's the thing. Birmingham, the inner city of Birmingham is flourishing now. I remember at a time when downtown Birmingham looked like trash. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the hot spot. Everybody building lofts and everything, and everybody wants to be downtown. But that used to be the inner city. You know what I mean?
Lost in translation. I bought this out on BMU's channel probably about 4 months ago.
Right.
When it comes to wrongfully convicted inmates, as to race, 65% of those wrongfully convicted inmates are black people. They get exonerated. 60. Why do you think it's majority black people who are found wrongfully convicted? Because on the streets, they're targeted more so than any other race by police. But my good man, Mr. Brave and Think, he's not going to speak to that. All he wants to deal with, all he wants to deal with is the disenfranchised young black Americans in the inner cities.
They're the ones killing people.
So
and they're the only ones killing people.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Who was killing people in Las Vegas a few years back with assault rifles?
Keep bringing up the singles.
I don't care. Let's go to the thousands. Who was killing people in their schools? I don't know about you, but we have never had a school shooting. You know what I mean?
They ain't never had one either. All black school. They ain't never had a school shooting.
We don't do that. You know, my school I graduated from was in the inner city.
Yeah, we can't afford the bullets.
Right.
670 mass shootings last year.
These people that we go to school with our friends, why would we shoot them?
Okay, look.
No, we're the only ones killing people. Lost in translation.
But my whole thing is this. My whole thing is when you fall prey to the media and what they say and who actually tells you what you're looking at, and as it's the truth, it's really not. Think about it. These are the same people.
Television.
Let me finish.
Look up the gun. Look up finish. Okay, no. I haven't said anything, sir. No, just stop. Wait a minute.
Let me finish. Sir, let me finish.
No.
Here's the thing.
As you brought up something, and I get to bring up something. Go to any gun memorial. Go to any closed circuit television. Go to any news in any city and look up the news headlines. See who's doing what. That's what I'm saying. Now,
that's because racism is controlling the narrative, sir.
No.
We just covered that.
Look, let's do this.
We just covered that.
I'm saying who's killing who, who's robbing, who's smashing. Let's do this. I'm full of shit. I gotta go though. But I'm full of shit. If you guys think that the inner cities aren't being plagued by black young people alone, I don't know what to tell you. If you want to think of something of me, that's okay. Because I like BMU.
Because black people, those black folks live in the inner city. So that's what we're saying all the time, that people commit crime where they live. They're not going to come to white neighborhood to commit a crime. They're going to commit a crime in the city where they live. It's common sense.
There's no low-income whites tearing up their streets.
Let me ask you this question.
They spread.
Let me ask you a question. Wait a minute. Wait. Let me ask you a question. Wait. Okay. Let me finish. Let me ask you a question.
They spread.
If blacks are the problem in the inner city,
yes,
why aren't they having these mass shootings and killings in the country?
There's 670 mass shootings last year.
Not in the country, they're not.
I don't care.
These people got guns. They don't shoot each other.
Right.
So what are you saying?
That kind of goes to my point, doesn't it? That whites aren't killing each other at mass shootings. There's
Oh, yes, they are.
670 mass shootings.
Yes, they are. As a matter of fact, when they get caught, they come to our churches and shoot us up.
There's 670 mass shootings. You think those were all white people?
A majority of them probably were because they could afford the guns.
No.
All right. Okay.
You're looking at intensity versus consistency.
If you want to think that, that's okay.
No. Here's my thing. Whenever you see these shootings or whatever, 9 times out of 10, these are usually one-offs and somebody had a beef with somebody. I have never seen black people go out and just murder people, go into grocery stores just for the fun of it. Exactly. I just don't.
That's true. They never do that. They usually it's gang-related crime. It's gang-related, so people get caught in the fire.
Right.
But white people will just go blankly to a grocery store and just open a gunshot.
We don't do that.
Okay.
Will you speak to that, Be Brave?
If there's 670 mass shootings, who do you think done them last year? 670 of them. There's 60 so far this month.
Okay. Let me give you that. But of that 600 and something mass shooting, take away gang related. Take away the gang related out of it, and tell me what is left.
You realize how many innocent children and women were shot in that? You're saying
we know that's what we're saying. That those things that people I just said a few seconds ago. That gang related, children get caught in fire. Shooting is shooting, killing is killing. Right. But we're talking about somebody taking AK-47 or AR-15 of his father or mother, just literally go into a grocery store and shoot up people, versus 2 idiots fighting each other in a theme park.
Okay. 2
different things, but the same results. Same result. Let me give you that. The same results.
Here's my thing. They don't advertise. The reason why they don't advertise white on white crime because it doesn't sell. It does not sell, sir. No, black on black crime sells. Why can't because they get heated and excited over black death. That's why.
Pull up a gun memorial, please. Anyone you want, pick any city.
Let me ask you a question. Why is it that when we pull down these racist statues, people were acting a fool over that? Why is it that whenever we try to tell history the way it should be told, we say, oh no, you shouldn't have critical race theory? Why is it that we try to change the narrative of what history really is to cover up the dirt that has been done in this country? Why haven't we made black people whole for the injustice that's taken place in this country? Why haven't we done that?
I tell you, the white people
we made the Japanese whole, which they were internment. We made the Jewish people whole when they were in trouble. Well, how come we can't make the black people whole when we've been doing this? We've been taken advantage of for the longest.
Dr. Nakumbe said we didn't even get into the in-home crimes of drugs and incest.
That's right. That's because it's in the home. That's what I'm saying. It's not tearing up the public realm. Blacks are tearing up the public realm. That makes a society fall apart much quicker. You can live in a white area.
Let me ask you a question, sir. What percentage? Listen, let me ask you a question. What percentage of blacks make up this population, sir?
Small.
13%, I think. Right?
So why is it that a small percentage is being advertised as the biggest problem?
Because they're doing the most vile stuff. They're shooting, killing. What are you talking about?
Really?
Overall.
Look what they're
doing.
Shooting
and killing.
You got teens running into the streets, jumping on people's cars, stopping cars, or you got smashing crap.
Well, let me ask you this. Why is it? Let me ask you a question. Why is it when black people do things like shooting and killing and rioting, it's a problem? But when you guys win championships, y'all tear people's property.
I haven't seen a chance.
Stuff like that, But we sweep that under the rug because those guys were just celebrating having a good time. But it's still destruction of property, right?
When was the last time it was done? Probably 30 years ago.
Nope. It was just nope. Go now. You need to get your computer out and Google, because who just won the NBA championship? And I want you to go watch those celebrations of them setting shit on fire and jumping on cars, and you need to go watch it.
Oh, so I will. Was that NBA? I will when I get off. I promise you. NBA championship this year?
Yes.
Oh, you bet I'll look at that video. Well, pull it up. You got it.
Yeah, I can't. YouTube be tripping.
Exactly.
Yeah, YouTube.
Like I said earlier,
I understand.
Who controls the ability to tell the narrative?
Things aside, I'm saying the blacks are tearing up the inner cities. It's spreading. The blacks are responsible for tearing apart.
And you saying the solution to that is to destroy all the black boys?
Right. And you guys think that the whites are the problem.
No. I'm asking you a question. Do you think since the black men, black people are the only problem in America?
I didn't say the only one.
The biggest problem in America is black people.
Yes.
That 12%.
That 12, yeah, right.
It's not even 12. It's more like about 3. You guys,
that 3% is causing 80 to 90% of the problems.
What?
That 3% of population that you're talking about is causing all these problems.
In the inner cities, in the public realm, yes.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, they are.
Let me ask you a question. Also in that 3% are doctors, engineers, lawyers, contractors, blue collar laborers, so they're part of the problem as well too. Huh?
Now, what are you talking about? We're
talking about what we're focusing on.
Listen, 3% of the black population are the kids that are shooting and killing up the inner cities.
Not the kids, sir.
What do you mean? There's doctors and lawyers in the 3%. We're designating the killers, which make up about maybe even 2% of the black population. Maybe not even that. And they're tearing up entire cities, entire black populations, entire cities.
You know what? I would love. Listen, I live in the hood, sir. I walk down the street. Listen, I walk down the street all day long, every day, and nobody has shot me or shot at me or anything like that.
Memorials, and I see what's in the gun statistics. You got blacks shooting the hell out of everything. Now look,
nobody's shooting in my neighborhood, sir. Okay. I'm telling you, from the hood, nobody's shooting here.
Go. I don't know.
Nobody's shooting here, sir.
I'm just saying it's spread.
I also live in the inner city. Nobody's shooting here, sir.
Okay.
It's what the news is telling you. I'm telling you to put your boots on the ground and come on. You're my guest. Come on. I got you.
I know.
If you want to wear your mask, that's fine too. I got you.
No, I would. Where do you live?
I live in Birmingham, sir.
Birmingham, Alabama.
That's correct.
Is it an inner city all black neighborhood?
It is, sir.
I'd love to go there with you. I still say I'm going to look up Birmingham stats. But here's how. Well, I don't live near you. But listen, fellas, listen. We talk. We disagree. You guys think it's whites. I'm saying it's a small.
I never said. Hold on, let me correct you. I didn't say it was whites. I said.
Oh no, I know.
I said the media. Media.
Correct.
Takes one thing, like say for instance, me and Lost in Translation get into an argument. And me and Translation get into an argument, and I pull out my gun, he pull out his, we shoot each other. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to pull up some old ass footage from about 3 years ago. They're going to show me in Lost in Translation. They're going to put that shit together. Then they're going to put it out and say, look at the violence in Chicago.
I am not going by
shooting the shit out of each other in Chicago.
Not going by mainstream news media. Please don't accuse me of that.
Be brave. Be brave.
Nobody's accusing you of anything.
I'm just saying that's what the media does. And just like Lost in Translation, just like I said earlier, hold on. Just like I said earlier, we have selective outrage. And let me tell you what that means. We outraged about the inner city shootings, but not one time have anybody that's on your side, Be Brave, said, you know what, those inner city shootings are horrible. And then I would agree with you. Yes, they are. Then the solutions would be not to go out and shoot, because you said earlier, go out and shoot young men like their game. That's what you said earlier. To shoot young black men. Hold on. You said shoot young black men like their game, and then after you shoot them like their game, put your foot in their back.
I referred BMU. I referred to a white boy. BMU. I referred to a white boy, and when I said that,
BMU, I dealt with the facts. I dealt with the facts in the beginning. In the beginning, I said, be brave and think is right. In the inner cities is high violent crime. I never disputed that. I never argued with him about that. But just to target only the inner cities, which when we know for a fact that there is a very low percentage of black people that live in low income housing in inner cities, right? So with that being the case, we know that there is a broader problem outside of that spectrum that for some reason Be Brave and Think does not want to deal with. And so listen what I'm saying.
That's not the case, Freezy. The case
I've dealt with it, you guys. I admit what's going on. Nobody's going to talk to me about what I haven't dealt with.
Be brave. Here's the situation.
what is the most pressing thing, and you guys don't agree with me. I agree. It's okay. You guys think that the young kids tearing up inner cities with violence and crime and meanness and no good for
Be
behavior.
brave. That's not what I'm saying. Be brave. Be brave. What I'm saying to you is this. I'm not blaming just one person. What I'm saying is it has to be a balance, because just because you are not walking around in a white beat and some shorts with a gun in your hand, that doesn't. And some of those people who are taking lives have on white coats, because like somebody just put in the chat so eloquently a few minutes ago. I forgot who it was that says, "Hey, listen, look at the percentage of doctors who are cutting off 9-year-old body parts, or you have to go into like how many women are." And this is the thing. I didn't want to bring this up, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because we had a show on this about 3 months ago about black women who are in the hospital in Atlanta, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, California, wherever you want to go, and they have black women who have babies and they leave them unattended, and these women are dying at an alarming rate because they're being left there to bleed out after they have children. So my thing is, sometimes the doctors in some of these hospitals are being sued out the ass. So go look up that number. But these women are dying. These women are dying.
If I can, because I only got a few minutes. I just want to say this. Lost in translation. I've been listening to you for a minute now, brother. Listen, you got to stop, because you really have drank the Kool-Aid of big media. I know you don't trust the media, and that's cool. You shouldn't. Not even most media that you read, because honestly, you're only reading a bumper sticker. Real talk. But you've drank the Kool-Aid, and you're doing exactly what they've engineered you to do. All this talk about is the inner cities, the minute fraction of populace that you're talking about cannot mathematically be possible that they're doing the damage that you think they're doing. It's not mathematically possible. Let me finish.
I didn't say that.
That was Joseph. That was Joseph,
Mandrell, I didn't say that.
That was Yusuf. That wasn't lost in translation.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Cool. Not lost in translation. I'm talking about Be Brave. Talking Be Brave. My bad. My mix up. Lost in translation lives in Birmingham.
You good.
I only got a few more minutes.
You good, man.
Be brave. You're doing exactly what the corporate media wants you to do. You drank the Kool-Aid and you're executing the plan flawlessly in their eyes.
Okay.
And the thing is, Lost in Translation lives in Birmingham, Alabama. I live in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm only 88 miles away from him. We have a black mayor.
Okay.
Since the black mayor got elected, the first black mayor in Montgomery, Alabama's history, right? Since he's been elected.
Yes.
Brand new schools. Brand new everything. We got museums downtown in Montgomery. Lost in Translation tell you, our downtown also is. Right. We got a water park down there. I didn't know until yesterday. Our city has grown by leaps and bounds since that guy's election. It's ridiculous how much growth has been.
Very good. That's good news. I'm not saying it ain't good news. What I'm saying is this, Mandrell. Listen, I'm saying this. I don't care about anything other than statistics. Look at your closed circuit television. Bring up the gun memorials all across the nation. You bring up any newscast anywhere in the city and see what's happened. Now, hold on. Now, here's how this goes. If you think I'm crazy, I can deal with that. Because I'm thinking you're crazy if you don't see it. So we're even. That's no big deal.
I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy at all.
What's going on is not informed, sir.
I just think you're just misled, because the same kind of stuff that happened when we're in the Army, right? You got these eggheads from Harvard come in and give us intel and try to tell us what to do. When it's like, no, fucko, this is our job. Just give me the intel and let me handle my business. Let us handle the rest, right? But it's like they're looking at numbers, but the picture is completely different when your boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Numbers don't tell the whole story, is all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying video does. I'm saying closed circuit cameras do. I'm saying the gun memorial does. I'm saying the gun statistics, the gun archives. 670 mass shootings last year.
Let me ask you something. Be brave. Be brave. Let me ask you something. Do you think that guns are the biggest proprietor of murder and killings in America?
Guns?
Yes.
I don't. I couldn't really answer that truthfully. I'm saying my guess would be yes, but if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter.
It's not. Far from not.
Okay, so here's how this goes. You guys, it's getting late. If you don't, it's okay. If you think I'm
It's getting
wrong.
late now. Okay, so what I'm saying, this is what I'm saying.
I got a joint.
The reason why I asked you that question is because when we have conversations like this, and I think this is where Lost in Translation is going. I think this is where Mandrell is going, BMU and Ikene. We're not disagreeing with you that there needs to be improvement in the inner cities when it comes to violence.
Improvement.
What I'm saying is, before you leave, I don't want you to exit this platform thinking that we disagree that the violence in inner cities needs to improve. Right? What we're saying is, if you can be motivated to take a look at a broader spectrum of components that are way more detrimental to society than the minimal gun violence that you're talking about in inner cities. When it listen, when it comes to losing lives, right? This is why when I first came up on this platform, I said you're somewhat sensationalizing.
Just please understand. I understand that whites do more crime. What is the most severe destructive?
No, they kill more
That's
people.
all I'm saying.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying, sir. They don't just do more crime.
Factor on the public realm. The public realm is what counts. Listen
to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. They don't just do more crime. They kill more people.
Good. Not in public. They kill them in their house.
No,
they kill them in the backyard.
Wow.
Really? And they kill them. I don't care about
it really matter where you die?
What's the difference in dying?
This is ignorant. This is ignorant.
The public. Mass transit, you can't ride it anymore. Mass trains, you can't ride them anymore.
Sir, we ride the bus all the time. Ain't nobody killing nobody on the bus.
I'll jump on the train just to prove it.
So all I'm saying, look. You guys.
And there's no way that black people kill more people than white people. That's mathematically impossible.
I didn't say it.
So
I said they're tearing up the public. You guys keep running from the word public, private. It's public. Blacks are tearing up the public.
So just because you conceded the
hold on, Black Man Unfiltered, hold on. You like to use numbers. You're telling me that 13.5% of your population is tearing it up?
No, I'm saying 3% of blacks are tearing up.
That means
all
of us.
Okay, that's worse.
All of us have to be doing it.
Yeah,
I'm doing it too. That means I'm doing it too.
That's worse. How the hell is 3% of the population?
It's on video. It's on close.
Me too, Freeze. I'm shooting up everybody. Shit.
Yeah, that means that everyone on this panel has to be actively on a mass shooting right now.
Right.
You guys aren't in the 3%.
And we can't stop.
You can pull up a gun memorial, fella. You can pull up a gun memorial in any city.
When you bring up memorials down, Mandrell, am I not wrong? Is there not in Montgomery a lynching memorial there in Montgomery? While we talking about museums and memorials,
go back years over.
So if we want to bring up memorials, we can, but that's not going to solve the problem.
No, it will.
My thing is this.
Presently,
I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you with this. Be brave. Something that my grandfather said a long time ago. He said, "A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still." Sir, I bid you a good day. I do.
Yeah, because you're not going to change his mind about anything. He's kind
of and I'm not changing yours. I just come up here to have fun and have the nerve to say what I think and what I can prove with videos and gun memorials and gun archives. I can prove what I'm saying.
This is what I want to know. Why white men, when white men deal with black people, why y'all always wear masks? Why you hide your face all the time? That's what I want to know.
Look, if this mask bothers you, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just curious. Every time y'all deal with black people and talk about black people, y'all hide your face.
Oh, well, probably because in the old days when the KKK did it, them foul bastards, they had businesses to deal with and they didn't want their image to be hurt. So they
okay, that's the excuse. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's not a noble.
If you hide behind a mask, it makes it okay. Okay.
Look, if the mask bothers you, I understand. If I'm full of shit.
To be honest, be brave, we really don't care about the mask. We worry about what's on the inside, to be honest.
So look,
we worry about what's on the inside because we're only gonna fix things if we move stuff forward. Quoting stuff from memorials and all this other stuff, let me ask you a question. How do we fix this?
That's how you develop.
How do we fix it?
How do we fix it?
Yeah, how do we
fix it, sir? How do we fix it? Let's get down to the brass tacks.
Bill,
I'm not one of those type of people who like to run around in circles.
Okay, here's how you
and
do
all
it.
this other stuff. How do we fix it?
I'm the president of the United States. Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to build facilities all across the nation. Not
facilities?
Facilities. I'm going to build facilities for murderers.
Universities?
What?
Schools and universities? Opportunities, businesses, buildings? Trapping people in cages does not. Listen, trapping people in cages does not move the country forward, sir.
Why don't we build things to for that 13-year-old that's about to pick up that gun? Why don't we have another out for him? Why don't we give him an opportunity to do something else? And another opportunity is not building another prison.
If he picks up the gun, he's going to where he belongs.
We got 3 brand new prisons in Alabama, and we also behind in economic progress as well too. So I assure you, prisons.
I'm glad you do.
Prisons are not going to fix the problem, sir. I'm here to tell you, we got 3 brand new supermax prisons in Alabama. That's not going to fix nothing, sir. But I will tell you this. I will tell you this though. We have 13 brand new high schools that are putting people through college who can get jobs.
When they
also have families who don't have their kids shoot people.
But that's not, well, lost in translation, that's not sexy to talk about the success of black people. It's only sexy when we talk about the displacement of black people. That's
not doing crimes when there's
no. Okay, B. Bray, let me ask you a question. Then I'm going to let Trey in here. We're going to get out of here. Okay. Let me ask you this question. What percentage, right now, what percentage of black men are graduating college?
Oh, goodness, I wouldn't know. I would hope it's large.
So you know how many of us are killing people, but you don't know how many of us are becoming.
Yeah, because the killing is doing serious damage.
That's what I'm saying.
The college is doing serious damage too. Clearly, if you want to educate people, you can't fool them anymore.
Be brave. If you ask me, be brave. A statistic on white men versus black men, I would know because I have to have balance.
Look, all I'm saying is I know what's tearing up the inner cities. I'm not.
What I'm saying statistically, black men are increasing at a great rate right now, right? The incarceration rate is lower. The graduation rate of college is higher. Black men are in the houses with their children more, 51% according to the CDC. 51% of black men are taking care of their children, helping them with their homework, being at their games, being in their lives. And so we're not concentrating on the success of the men. We're concentrating on the fall of them.
Okay, you can do that. You can do that.
But that's not sexy though. But that's not sexy to talk about that.
Well, here's my point. All I'm saying is no man. What's tearing up the country? That's all it is.
Everybody.
Okay. Then see.
What's tearing up the country right now is inflation.
Right, and you're damn right about that.
Bad judgment by the White House.
You guys, if you want to think that, I understand.
Okay.
Be brave. We got Trey in here. Trey, you got something you want to say? Then we'll get out of here after Trey, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys have made your point. I think he's made his point. It's obvious he's not going to be moved off of his square.
No,
he believes what he believes, and that's fine. I will tell you
I got statistics. It ain't believe.
But that's fine. You can have your statistics, and we can have our statistics.
Thank you.
And at the end of the day, we'll see how it washes out. But I will tell you this, Be Brave. I spent 6 years as a police officer in Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. I worked the streets. I was the boots on the ground. And yes, there is a ton of crime in the inner cities. But that's obvious because there's a ton of crime in almost every inner city, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, it is not a representation of the black group. And
I didn't say it was. I never said it was.
Well.
No, I didn't say it was.
Let me finish.
Okay, but I didn't say it was.
I got you.
Don't sign that.
I got you, but let me finish. Okay, feel free to rebuttal when I'm done.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the way that you come off, and I've been watching since the beginning, I think since the 13 minutes into the show, the way that you come off, the way that you say the things, you make it seem as though that small group of people who are committing these crimes are a representation of all of us. And
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I've said 1,000 times.
Let me finish. Let me finish. What is your problem?
I didn't.
Control yourself. Control yourself. You're a 68-year-old man. There's no need for you to interrupt me. Just wait.
No, I know, but I didn't say that.
But I got that. You can rebuttal. You can say that you didn't say that when I'm done.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Let's have some decorum here.
Okay.
All right.
I'll consider myself straightened out.
It's not about straightening you out. I'll give you the same respect. I'll be quiet while you speak. at the end of the day, it's not about what you think. It's about our perception. I've been listening.
Okay.
And and everybody on this panel can tell you I'm probably the most controversial. Objective person out here. I go back and forth with these guys all the time.
No
and
love
I just
lost,
don't.
brother.
I just don't agree with you because I was the boots on the ground. I saw it, and I know that this is not a representation. And here's the thing: we're talking about maybe 4,000 homicides a year, if that tops. I'm talking about for the entire country. For our group, maybe 4,000. I can't remember. I remember looking at the FBI stats because we used to get them as police officers. We would get access to them before everybody else got it. It's not what you think it is. And you said yourself, there's always going to be crime. So this little small group has nothing to do with the doctors and engineers that we were talking about.
Right.
There will always be crime. It will never change. And Lost in Translation spoke to it. The crime is down in his city.
Oh, we can.
I'm from Washington, D.C. When I grew up in the 90s, we had 600 to 700 homicides a year. We're down to 250. We are getting better as a group.
Okay, good.
But these things do not take time. It took 400 years for us to get here. We're going to take a little while for us to fix it.
Exactly.
But what you're doing, and Mandrell said it, although I don't like to agree with Mandrell because I don't like Mandrell, but he was right. But he was right. What you're doing is you're playing the game for them, what the media does. And it's unfortunate. I can tell you, I was in a shooting. The media reported that the person that I shot didn't have a gun. And I know for a fact they had a gun because I took the gun from them. The media will make up any story that they want because black on black sounds sexy. Just like how I am. Just how I am, bald and sexy. Black on black sounds sexy. And they like that. And what's sexy gets advertising dollars. That's why they start every news channel with four shot, 3 dead. Details at 11. That's why they do it that way, because they know that people will watch. But it is not a representation of the greater group of our race. It is not. The greater group of our race is doing amazing things. I just saw a black kid that scored a 1,600 on the SATs. You know how hard that is to do?
But Trey, you said I could talk pretty soon. When?
Wow.
Well, here's the thing. I have a feeling that you only want to talk to respond. You're not actually listening.
No.
But go ahead. I'll listen.
All right. Trey, I know that the vast majority of blacks are good people. I'm just saying there's a problem, and I'm not afraid to call it out. You can disagree. You can say I'm wrong. You can do anything you want. In the end, it's tearing apart inner cities and it's tearing apart black neighborhoods. And you guys, I don't watch the media. I'm going by a closed circuit. Gun memorials, gun violence.
Okay, be brave. How can you trust a gun memorial? How can you trust a gun memorial over an ex-police officer who's on boots on the ground that's telling you that what you're saying is inflated?
I'm not saying it's inflated. I'm saying
it's vastly inflated.
It's inflated. What you're saying is inflated because he was boots on the ground. He's a police officer in a huge metropolitan area in the inner cities, working it as a police officer, and he's telling you what
you said. DC, right?
On DC,
yeah,
right?
Chocolate City.
Chocolate City, right? Chocolate City is named that for a damn reason. And so my thing is, if he's telling you I'm boots on the ground, I see this on a daily basis as a police officer, and what you're saying is inflated. Why is what he's saying? Why are you not agreeing with what he's saying when this man is on the ground? He's an officer arresting people. He's getting shot at. He's putting his life on the line, and he's telling you what you're seeing and what you're doing right now is not correct.
And I'm saying I don't worship Trey. I'm saying he's full of shit.
Wow.
Be brave. Let me ask you a question, sir.
Wow. Hold on.
Wait.
I don't mean
brave.
like,
let me ask you a question, sir.
Trey, I know you know what you're talking about. I'm just saying I know what I know. I know what I see. I add up.
Brave. Let me ask you a question, sir.
Be brave.
Let me ask you a question, sir. What is more beneficial?
You know what you read. You don't know. You know what you read. Here's the thing. I know what I've done.
He said
we're two different
things. Closed circuit radio.
Closed circuit television.
Television. Yeah.
Be brave. Let me ask you a question.
Versus a man that was on the ground. So you're gonna hold on, guys. So you're gonna ask. You're gonna go on what you hear and a little bit of what you see versus a person. Hold on. So that means you get into say, for instance, you got into an argument with a veteran that was in the war. And you're telling them, I know you guys didn't get shot at every day. And the veterans telling you, yes, we did get shot at every day. No, I know what I believe in. You're full of shit. And you ain't never been shot at before.
I also am an Iraqi war veteran.
All across the nation. They don't lie. They don't.
Let me ask you a question, sir. Is it beneficial to have more information or less information?
Damn.
It's beneficial to have information that counts.
No. I didn't ask you that. The question was, what's more beneficial, less information or more information?
More information can be a headache than it's worth.
That's not what I asked you, sir.
I don't care.
I said
information counts.
What is more important, more information or less information?
Well, of course, more if it's quality.
Okay. My thing is, why are you limiting your information to closed circuit TV?
I can't help you. I'm limited. It's gun memorials. It's gun violence archives.
Gun memorials.
Why are you limiting yourself? That gun memorial is not going to change, sir.
Hold on. No. Watch this. But tomorrow, hold on. Let me say something lost in translation. That gun memorial updated tomorrow, and it showed the white folks as the motherfucking crazy ones, and they're the most violent. We wouldn't even be having this conversation.
This is what I want. If white kids were going around doing this, you think, nah. See, you don't know me very well. I just told you.
They are doing it. Be brave. This is what I want to know.
What?
You say you live in a white neighborhood, more on the poor side.
No, all white area. It's
okay.
big.
Okay, you live in an all white area.
Not low income whites, no crime.
If your area is so safe, I want to know why in the hell you got a big ass 2x4 bolted on both ends on your damn door.
Oh my God!
Not only that, I got a 45 revolver and a 38 revolver to buy my.
Because they ain't got no 2x4 on my goddamn.
In a safe house, in a safe neighborhood, you got all that. In a safe neighborhood,
you got a damn good door lock. I'll bet you though.
Be brave. Well, the question is, why do you have all of that in the safe?
Most of the time, I forget to lock my door because you know what? Black people live around me and they don't come into my house. They don't steal my stuff. And guess what? I don't even really lock my door most of the time.
I don't lock mine either.
Hey, B-Brave, I got a serious question. I got a serious question. Are you trolling us right now?
I am too, Ikene.
Yes, I'm in Dallas.
I'm right outside. I'm 175, Ikene.
Yeah, I live 121 on Corporate, Louisville.
Okay.
Be brave. Are you trolling us? You got a mask on.
Can I answer, Trey?
Are you serious at this point?
I'll answer.
Trey, you just said you contradicted yourself. You said you're in a safe neighborhood, but you got a boat, 45 gun all by the door.
So
what's wrong? I mean, is that
are you one of those doomsday?
Because those white kids are gonna come rob him. That's why.
Okay, Trey.
They probably done already been inside. They probably done already robbed his ass.
And say goodbye.
Okay, go ahead, B-Bray.
Trey, there's kids that are being shot, blown to hell and back. There's women that are being shot. There's all kinds of innocent people being shot. If you want to think I'm trolling when I'm speaking of that, you go right ahead.
Hey, Trey, don't answer that. Let me answer him something. Let me answer him this. No. I got Trey. Hold on. Cool. Just chill, bro. Do you know the worst parents on earth? The worst parents on earth are those parents that always cover the dots that their kids do. When their kids do shit, nobody hears about it. And you know who those parents are? The white media. All the shooting that happen in the white neighborhood, every crime that happen in white neighborhood, all the killings, you never hear anything about it on television. They never say nothing.
I can actually tell you a story.
It happened in the house.
Hang on, be brave, because I can actually quantify that with a real life, actual boots on the ground story. I once made an arrest in Uptown DC. Uptown DC is known for its white population. It's where the more affluent people are in our city.
Northwest.
I once made a drug and a gun arrest on I won't say who he was, but he was a politician's son. I swear to you, and I mean this, by the time I sat down to type the arrest report, he was walking out the front door.
Yes.
Done.
BMU, did I say earlier
it was over. The case was over.
Didn't I say earlier?
Suddenly the evidence had disappeared.
Yes.
And I'm telling you that is an actual fact.
I believe you.
I agree with you, Ekene, that there's times where we make arrests on white individuals, and because of power and influence, status, titles, these things have a tendency to wipe themselves away.
Yes.
Whereas I can make the same arrest, the same gun, the same drug arrest on a black individual on the east side of the river here in DC, and nobody's coming to save them.
Okay. Now go find me a closed circuit camera with 3 white kids carjacking somebody and shooting them because they couldn't get them out of the car.
Well, I can
sure. How much time you got? I'll make some. I'll make some calls.
I'm waiting
to my former colleagues. How much time do you have?
We got time.
Or do you want to drop an email address and I'll send you the video because it happens?
No, not
here in DC, white boys
I can find 3 a day of 3 kids terrorizing people. 3 a day. Per day.
This guy really believes white kids don't carjack.
We can play the volume game.
So white kids,
we're not going to act like that the white boys don't do the same thing. Because I've seen it and I've arrested them.
Rabbi, here's the numbers.
So hold on, Trey, have you ever arrested a grand theft auto of a white young man still in the car?
Yes, I've also arrested a young white male for carjacking. I've arrested young white male for robbery. I've arrested young white males for burglary. I've arrested young white males for drug charges, gun charges, sexual assaults.
Yes.
I've arrested them for all of it. They do the same crimes that everybody else does.
So what's the difference?
Gotcha.
Because you know what, Be Brave, let me tell you this too. I'll say this too, Be Brave. In Texas, there's a judge here in Texas. Ekene may know this, what happened here. In Mesquite, Texas, there was this young man who, a white guy, little white boy, 16 years old. Yeah, and the judge said he had affluenza, meaning the white boy didn't know right from wrong. He got drunk.
Man, it was Fort Worth. It wasn't it was Fort Worth.
He was in a truck, his dad's big Chevrolet truck, and he got drunk at 16 years old and ran over a preacher and 4 people on the side of the road and deleted all of them. And they say he had affluenza. The judge said he had affluenza because he didn't know right from wrong. The same judge 6 weeks later tried a case where a black boy fought a white boy, and the white boy hit him. It's on camera. The white boy hit him first. He defended himself, hit the white boy. The white boy, when he hit him, the white boy fell to the ground, hit his head on the end of a desk at the school and died. He gave him 30 years, same age. 30 years, and he gave.
I remember what happened. The white guy that was said about the influenza, right? His mom took him and ran to Mexico.
Yep.
See, this goes back to what I was telling you about earlier about the court system.
Yeah.
And how it's skewed, and you kind of like brushed it off. You kind of brushed it off. That's what I was talking about.
No, I didn't brush it off. I'm just saying, people want to live in white neighborhoods for a reason.
Now we're gonna go back.
Not I.
BMU. I'm a duck off, but before I duck off, I want to say I appreciate Be Brave for just having enough gumption to come on these panels is when it's predominantly black, and I want to say this also that the biggest mass shootings in American history, starting with number 1 is the Las Vegas shooting. The fatality was 58.
Yeah, the 670 don't matter. The 670 last year don't matter. 670.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
Hey, Be Brave, let me finish.
670.
What I'm saying. Let me go down the line.
670 mass shootings.
The second one.
Let the man finish.
But you guys, you're bringing up 1 and 2. I'm bringing up.
Let me finish.
He going. You don't know what he got. So go ahead.
He's talking about single mass shooting, not all total. He's talking about one at a time.
Go ahead, Freeze.
The second on the totem pole is Orlando nightclub. 49 fatalities in one night. Virginia Tech was the second one. Was the third one. 32 in one day. Sandy Hook was the fourth one. Set 27. Texas Baptist Church massacre was the fifth one. 26. I can go all the way down the line. I'm talking about all the way down the line to 20, and all of them are mass shootings, predominantly by white males.
There's 30 mass shootings this month. You think they're all white males?
Let me finish.
No, what you're saying doesn't matter because you're giving 10.
Freeze it. Here's the thing, Be Brave. if they're unsolved, you can't say who it is.
Exactly.
So but hang on. That's not how the judicial system works.
Come on, Trey.
If it's unsolved, we cannot say it's black neighborhoods. We cannot. It doesn't matter if it's in a black neighborhood or not.
Right. It could have been one of them rich white boys that's trying to have some fun.
If they're unsolved, be brave. If they're unsolved, we cannot say which race of people it is. You have to wait till they're solved.
And Trey,
and I would be hard pressed to believe that not at least 10% of them are not white shooters.
And Trey, this is why, Trey, what you just said, Trey, is why when I first came on the panel, I was telling Be Brave, it's obvious that he's sensationalizing black inner city killings, right? But before I drop off, I just want to say this on a positive note. We can talk about all the negative things about black people all we want. Listen what I'm saying. But we all know for a fact that if black people did not exist in America, we would not be the most marketed country in the world. We would not be the most successful country in the world. We would not, and everything would be boring. We are the season in America.
Like you told me last week that I needed you more than you needed me. No. This is how this works. In this country, if there's no black people, you need black people for this country to survive.
Oh, no.
Oh, the biggest. I couldn't hear you. Without black people in this country, without black people in this country, you wouldn't have. We could start. Let's not even do entertainment because that's just a wash, right? You can't name 5 entertainers that's better than 3. I can name 3 black entertainers better than 100 of you.
Entertainment,
music,
social media,
everything that you guys have.
Mediocre football.
Everything that you guys have, you have leached it from us.
But hold on.
You have Elvis Presley. You have Elvis Presley because of somebody black. You have Elvis Presley because of Lil Walter. You have Elvis Presley because of all these. You have all your white counterparts who done great things. They've leached off of us. Let's just be real.
Yes. Like, you know what's really funny though? What's really funny? Listen, what's really funny?
Okay.
We would not be on this internet had it not been for a black woman.
Exactly.
Lost in translation. Start talking, boy.
Come on, man.
I want to hear what my boy World Class.
We wouldn't be on this internet right now because of black people.
Yeah.
Hey, World Class said he here for that ass. World Class, go ahead.
Oh shit. Pause.
Super pause. Oh my god.
Right. Neither the
United
States.
Trey, you stupid as shit.
Right. Neither the United States or London can operate not only without the so-called brown skin race, but immigrants. Period. They can't. Like in the Muslim, really, what's running Britain, y'all home country, it's Muslims. Now.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not a now. See, a lot of things you probably used to talking to people that don't know history. The entirety of the royal family comes from Moorish bloodline.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of like what Trey was just saying. You saying that the violence that happens in so-called black neighborhoods, so that makes us responsible. But isn't this your country? Isn't this the white man country? So wouldn't you be responsible for everything that? Hold on. One thing I don't do. Hold on, I'm gonna let you know this right now. One thing I don't do, and I don't tolerate. I don't talk while other people's talking, and I really don't need you to be talking while I'm talking. It's first and last time I'm gonna say that. For stuff
I didn't say you were responsible.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna say it one more time. One thing I don't tolerate is people talking while I'm talking because I don't talk while other people's talking. It's the first and last warning. Or thing gonna go real left.
I didn't say you were responsible.
I don't think you hear very well.
Yeah, I don't. Throw me off. I didn't say
the nature of your statement is that because violence is happening in the so-called black community, then the black community is responsible. Yes or no?
What? Repeat that, and I'll answer you. What was that? I'm sorry.
The nature of your statement and your position is that the violence is happening in black community, so-called black communities. So it makes the black community, the people in the black community, responsible for that. Yes or no?
No, I didn't say that.
I didn't say that you.
I said the people
I'm
that
say
are
it one more time. I said the nature of your position. You understand what that means?
Count. The nature doesn't count.
What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about right now?
I said it's a small percentage of black youth that are tearing the hell out of black neighborhoods and the city.
So you're blaming the black community for that?
No,
yes.
I said black youth.
So you're blaming you're blaming the black youth for that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in your country, the United States that you run, it's happening. So wouldn't it be your fault since you're responsible?
In the end, you're correct.
Okay,
which is my point. Why don't we all just take, this is easy to take care of. The fact that we're not, as I told BMU earlier, is the young black youth are being used as a destructive tool by the white corporate machine.
If it was so easy to take care of, why come y'all didn't take care of the mob?
Oh, shit.
I don't know. Go back 50, 100 years and ask them. I'm talking about now. That's all I'm talking about.
They're still alive now. They're still alive and operating now.
He just want to talk about black people.
No, I don't. But if you want
He
to
love black people, y'all, for real. He want to care about us so much.
No, what he said earlier, if he would have,
nobody else death counts.
Not world class. This for you. He said earlier. He said if he found him a sweet honeysuckle black woman, he'd have married her.
I would have. Why you think that's lying?
He's speaking about the topic, right? The topic. He's saying he's only talking about, but that's the topic of the show, because that's I'm looking at it. Black people have done nothing for us, so he's speaking directly
put
to
your
that.
cape.
So talking about
a
lot of different things. I'm not saying I agree with everything. I'm not saying I agree with everything he's been saying. It's just,
what is it?
If he's talking about the topic, and you guys are saying, well, that's not the only thing. Well, then I guess then he's like, I would be confused if you came. If
Benjamin, the top. We're not disputing that, but the topic can evolve.
Yeah, no, we
didn't. What I'm saying?
It evolved into a racial spat type of thing.
No, because when we asked what the solution was, his solution was build more jails.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Do you agree with that,
Building jails
Benjamin?
ain't never fixed nothing.
That's what he said, Benjamin.
That's what he said.
Do you agree with that, Benjamin?
What's weird to me? Hold on, Freezy, for 1 second. What's weird to me is that you claim to be a conspiracy theorist, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's something that's well documented, non-negotiable. It's not even a conspiracy called COINTELPRO. There's been a lot of released documents, and I heard you speaking about this community that I come up in. I'm from Liberty Heights in Glen Oak, Northwest Baltimore. And what I can tell you for a fact, because we watched them, and some of them we put in the ground, a lot of the violence is caused by police officers.
Yes.
That are not even from the state. So a lot of the so-called, and I love what Trey said before he left, a lot of the violence that's happening is perpetrated by this said government.
Yes.
And we watched this for a long time, a very, very long time.
Yes.
So our response to it is fuck it. If
I got you.
To your original point, saying that we violate publicly or mess up public property while so-called whites do it in private, even if that was true, to which it's not.
Okay.
Why wouldn't we respond with a fuck it? When we're getting blamed for what getting blamed and thrown under the bus for what everybody in this country knows that the government is participating in, with CIA operating on home soil.
That's why I asked BMU earlier. Maybe whites got this coming.
Who's going to hold them accountable?
Maybe whites got this coming. I asked BMU.
Here's my thing. We love listen. We love to say what people should do, but who's going to put the government in jail? Who's going to put the courts in jail?
That's my point. That's why the people on the ground have to focus on what really is doing the invasive, destructive work. That's all we can do. Because we can.
You're on the ground, be brave.
What do you mean? Am I on the ground?
You just said that we, the people on the ground.
Yeah, that means us common folk, not the government, not the corporate machine, not the COINTELPRO. Us common folk on the ground. Yes.
Sir, listen. If you have all the courts, you have all the guns, you have all the machinery, you have all the weapons, then who's going to hold you accountable?
What do you mean we got? You guys got guns?
No. I'm talking about the government, and the majority of the people that's in power are probably not black. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Who is going to hold these people accountable?
Nobody, because as I said earlier, the government,
so that's the problem.
The corporate machine that controls the government are tearing us all apart.
So you mean to tell me that there's nothing that can be done?
I'm thinking if people just. What we can do is say that, as I said earlier, since we're all in this together on the ground, we can look and say, look, we can't fight them. They're too powerful. But God damn it, I can fight you. I can blow your damn brains out, kiddo.
Be Brave is looking for militias and anarchy. That's his answer.
No, I'm not.
That sounds like y'all want a French Revolution
guys
in America.
Like I said, I'm just falsify facts, statistics.
There would be bloodshed.
Your solution is to fixing our problems that's causing the problem in the United States is for us to shoot our children
and put them in jail.
If they need shot, kids need to be shot.
That's crazy.
Right. Okay. Let's.
If they put a gun to somebody's head and try to rob somebody, they need their brains blown out.
Okay. No. So if we keep this thought process, right, then why shouldn't we slaughter all white people? You have annihilated and eradicated and genocided entire races on every continent. If we going with that principle, why haven't you rallied your people up to kill your own?
Because
y'all kill children.
Because you just switched the whole thing.
I'm talking principle. Principles. See, the thing that happens with people that have disingenuous mentalities is that y'all don't understand that principles are universal.
I'm with you. I guess we got it coming. But I'm saying right now, if a kid pulls up and puts a gun to somebody's head,
you got it coming. You having it coming does not actually solve the problem or answer the question. That means if you haven't fixed your shit, that means you don't know how to fix our shit. That doesn't really make any sense.
Probably not. We could be going down the drain.
So where's the passion coming from then? As if you have a clue what you're talking about.
Where's the passion to fix our shit?
Where's the what?
The passion that you have about what we need to do about killing the children, because that's what they are. They're kids.
Yeah, and I said earlier with the white 14-year-old, if he puts a gun to my head, that 14-year-old white 14-year-old making it to 15.
He's 14.
But we're not building brand new jails for whites only.
You're building brand new jails for who deserves to be in them.
That wasn't your original premise.
Let me tell you this, Lawson Trent. We're building jails for people that need to be in them, so-called, or we're building more private facilities for more men in your area to get more money because more private. Oh, come on now, because I saw yesterday. I read an article yesterday that says in one prison that they're building, which would be one of the biggest prisons in the United States. I forgot where they're building it at. Said it's going to be $1 million a year per person there.
Yep.
So they're going to fill it up 100% capacity, and everybody that's in there, that's $1 million a year from each body in there. Somebody's getting rich because they own that private prison.
And as I said earlier, if I'm the president, remember, I'm building prisons for people that need to be in them. It ain't going to be prisons for profit.
Right.
You know what that sounds like to me.
And some of those.
I was just asked what the solution is. I said, if I'm president, I'm building prisons all across the neighborhood.
What are you guys talking about? United States government does not care about these people. It sees your social security number as money. Your social security is money. You see what I'm saying? That's all they see.
He's right.
Yeah.
It's not money. Hold on.
So
It's not money.
when you talk about you want to build these prisons without money, that's not how this country is built. It's built on economics. It's built around money. It's all about money.
Right.
And so you'll be a fool to build these prisons without the economic consideration. And of course,
first of all,
you might say that now, but I assure you, because you see the money in it, you will be like, oh no, I'm not going to partake.
No. Look,
you would. I promise you.
You're talking to somebody who's researched all the filthy goings-on of government and the corporate machine that runs the planet. I'm pretty aware of stuff. I'm saying if the really real, if the world were real, you'd build prisons all across this nation and you'd take care of this problem overnight, because when kids seen that there were consequences, they would stop.
There's no let's talk Turkey. While you talking about building these prisons, how much of those government contracts are black owned? All these blacks building these prisons?
If I was president and they deserved it, you better believe they would.
No, that's not what I asked.
No, okay.
Why would you use the word deserve? Do you say white industrial deserves? Why would you say the word deserve for black people? You said if they deserve it. You see why what pisses me off? When you talk to a black woman, she says if the black man deserves. Then when you talk to a white man, he says if the black man deserves. Everybody is talking about a black man deserving. Let me tell you something. Black man can build anything on earth. Why do you guys think we have to deserve it?
Come on, fellas.
No, I'm asking because this is annoying me all the time. When I want to go to college, you're gonna ask me, you're gonna give me admission if I deserve it. Even with a 3-point-something GPA, you still asking me if I deserve it?
Because
when I have a construction company as a black man, a construction company that can build anything, you're asking me if I deserve it. You're not asking if I merit it, if I have the qualifications to do it. You're saying if I deserve it.
Listen.
Can I say something real quick? Just real quick, B-Bray. This is for you real quick.
Happened to it.
Because we talked about the government and we talked about you being president if you were and how things need to change. Right now, in our government, including Congress, Senate, and a few other positions in government. Right now, actively, there are 487 cases of indictment on congressmen and senators. I need you to Google this. So the very people that we look at to change things are the very criminal. Can we talk about that? They're criminal. That's the difference between a dude with a gun and a dude with a
pen.
The politics is all nonsense. I don't even. It's too far above us. We can't touch it.
Those are the people who write the laws, sir. They need to be held accountable.
I know, you're right. You're right. But they're not. Well, again, let's go back to wars that are started. Let's hold them accountable. White people. What I'm saying is, if you can't hold this person accountable, you can't. But we can hold kids pointing guns at people's heads on the bus accountable.
You know why? Because kids are low-hanging fruit.
Right, you took the word right out of my mouth.
You don't have the balls to take care of the people who's actually really causing the problem. Exactly. That's the issue.
Okay,
let's be real about that. Right, let me tell you something. That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong with this country. This country is full of cowards who like to prey upon the small and the weak. That's not what this country was built on. This country said, "Bring me your tired, you're poor, and you're hungry, and you're weak." That's what they said do. But no, we don't do that anymore. We prey on our poor, we prey on our hungry, and we prey on our weak. That's not what we're built for. So when you say build a prison for children, you should be building schools for children, sir.
The human response. Hold on. The human response.
He got somebody's head. He's got to go.
One second. The human response to the thing that you're bringing up, so-called 14-year-old white boys and black boys shooting people. The fucking response for a worthy person that's not a piece of shit would be to get these fathers back in the homes and stop allowing these courts to separate them legally. That is the fucking problem. There are stats after stats after stat after stat that shows that children are much more progressive and especially in their developmental and their behavior when a dad is present. That is a proper response of a fucking human being. But a person that is not a human being want to shoot a fucking 14-year-old that can't go to the store and buy it. That means somebody is giving it to him, or he has a problem in his household. That's how you address the problem that you're bringing up, whether you're in your community or my community. Not shoot a fucking 14-year-old in the head. No, it doesn't make an inch of sense for an adult man to think that's the response. What you're doing is speaking out of fear.
If a 14-year-old puts a gun to somebody's head, I'm blowing his fucking brains out.
Sir, let me explain something to you, sir. Let me explain something to you. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this real loud. If you shoot somebody I know, there will be consequences.
That's what.
If you shoot somebody else or somebody knows, there will be consequences.
Exactly, bro.
So all you're doing is escalating.
You're escalating something that you don't want to do.
No.
You don't want to do that.
You know what? I'm gonna speak on this.
No.
Let me speak on this. To my black brothers here, we shouldn't even have a 14-year-old of our own children with gun out there in the street at the first place. Okay, we shouldn't even discuss it. This is not even. I don't know why we even discuss. I think we should go past this. And my own child will not be 14-year-old with a gun in the street.
That's because you're a dad.
You should be in the room. You should be in room studying.
But hold on, that's because you're a dad. You're going to be there. What I'm talking about, a lot of these kids are in these streets because dad's not there. Hold on. No. Hold on. They're not there. The fathers are not there, and the moms are making sure the fathers are not there. That's what the real problem is.
Yes,
that's true.
I'm not saying that is the real problem, but that is a damage that is being done by our women. Okay?
That's why you got to kill the end.
So that's her choice.
That's
to
why you
put our kids at risk over her individual selfishness. Okay?
Kill
that you can't correct because guess what? The white man will be the buffer between you and her. Because the white man don't want the child to turn 14 or 15, right? Because if he so care about my child, your child, he would have made everything for me and you to be there, right? And she won't be the one raising the child. A man with testosterone at 14 that can overpower her. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A 14-year-old boy is supposed to be with his father from the age of 6.
Yes. Or older.
So that is not something that we should be proud of. But that's something we should take up with our women by letting them know that they have us and the white men are destroying our community.
Yes.
When we keep attacking her and the white man, guess what? There will come a day when both of them will have to face the justice from us, one way or the other. But we're going to let the whole world know that the black woman and the white man are colluding together to destroy the black man and the black kids.
And I have to.
We got to keep doing that.
I got to speak to that. You know what's dumb about that is that the white woman is doing it more to her man than our women are to us. That's what the numbers show. That's why I don't understand his argument. It's like, how much do you know if you don't understand that what is causing these 14-year-olds to be like they are? Those boys. No, I have to acknowledge it like that because
I know what's causing the problem. I don't care. I'm gonna kill a killer, and then we'll talk.
Hey, be brave.
Yes.
Be brave. You're saying that a 14-year-old that uses a firearm to rob somebody, they should die right on the spot.
I said at that moment, if he's got a gun on somebody and somebody says no way and shoots him, he's got it coming. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what I'm telling you is,
you said
I wish
if a
like
14-year-old point a gun, you're gonna shoot him in his fucking head. That's what you said.
To his point, I wish like hell the same treatment would have been done to Dylan Roof when he shot up all those black people.
I'm with you.
At Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in South Carolina, but instead those white cops took him to Burger King before they.
So, do you think I wish he lived? Or something?
I don't know.
Here's the thing. We don't know what you think.
What are you talking about?
We don't know what you think.
I know. Yes, yeah, you do. I'm saying
we don't know what you think, sir.
Because you keep concentrating on black inner city, young black hanging fruit, just like Lost in Translation.
Hey, Freezy, what he's displaying is
puts a gun to somebody's head to rob him. He deserves to be dead.
Be brave. Let me explain something to you.
Hold on, real quick. What he's displaying is why the FBI have had older white men 25 to 55 as the #1 threat to national security.
If you want to believe that.
Since 1980.
If you want to believe that.
So we can believe the gun post, but we can't believe the FBI post.
We can believe the memorials too.
Damn you! It's on the camera. It's on the camera.
Come on, world class. Cook.
Go ahead, world class. Cook.
That's what I just flat out like what he's displaying is exactly why it goes like he claims to be in the know. But you're not addressing like the space that you're in is so close to the space that expresses that these kids are being the way they are because they're not allowed to have their dads. Most dads get 6 days out of the month.
Right.
6 days out of these. So you're talking about killing victims and like Lost in Transition just said, all you're doing is escalating the problem because if hold on. If somebody in my family, because I'm gonna let you know this. If somebody like me finds out that somebody like you shot a 14-year-old in my family, they won't find you. They won't find whoever you love. They won't find your favorite basketball player. People like me, I come from 3 generations of hitmen, talented killers.
Yeah.
They would never find you. If they did, it'd be in 7 different states. What you're doing and what you're talking about is just going to escalate the problem. And if you cared about this country and you cared about the laws, you wouldn't want us to be fighting when the government is supposed to be the real problem.
I don't want to.
And the other part of it is that everything you're saying, our fucking military goes to other fucking countries and kill children, innocent children, every day. Exactly. So I don't know where your patriarchy.
I'm not patriotic.
I don't know where your alliances are. Because it doesn't seem like you care about this country, or because you don't. I'm gonna keep shit 100 with you.
Don't think I'm one of those.
I'm gonna keep shit 100 with you. You have nowhere else to go. We don't have the problem you got. The false sense of security that white males have in this country, let me destroy it right now. You, sir, have nowhere to go. Because your home country, because you're not an American, your home country is overrun by Muslims. You don't have nowhere else to go. We have everywhere to go. We can go anywhere on this planet, unbeknownst to you. Especially when these people on, even the African brothers on, especially when you politically acknowledge your Moorish heritage, you can go everywhere on earth. You're accepted everywhere. So I think your mindset, you should change for your own security, because your birth rate's too low to be talking about killing.
No, we're done. I know. We're done. We're going out.
And Be Brave, let me say this too, Be Brave. I can say this, and I'm not being facetious, I'm being honest. I can tell that Be Brave that your name, basically what you're saying is your name is speaking for itself. Be brave, because right now you have mentioned, you said, I am in a, oh, my brother in the back. Be brave. You said I'm in a situation where I'm in a safe neighborhood. I'm amongst all the safe people. We don't have this black crime in my area, and we don't have any of this in my area. And you're safe. But then I'm looking around in your background, and you're locked down like you're in a third world country with guns by the door and waiting on someone to kick in the door and abduct you. So I think that you're living out of fear, and I don't mean this in a facetious way, but I think that you're living out of fear. I think you're scared that at any moment the white people may even come and get you.
I'm just know it,
and I think that you're afraid. But Dr.
We ain't in your neighborhood.
Dr. Nakume is gonna have the last word, guys, because I got to get out of here just like everybody else. I know lots of training. You got a show tonight, right?
Take that 2x4 off your door.
I got one tonight.
Yeah. So Dr. Nakumbe, who does work with people, psychology, forensic psychology, all this kind of stuff. So this is his role. So I'm gonna let him iron everything out, and then we're gonna get out. All right. So Dr. Nakumbe, have your weight out.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Be brave. Thank you, first of all, for staying. I heard you say several times you have to go, and you continue to stay. Thank you. I study behavior, so it's unfortunate.
So do I.
But from my lens, what I'm seeing is we keep trying to use the wear down method, like we're gonna change your mind, and we're targeting you like you gonna answer for everyone, and we're threatening how we're gonna kill you if you mess. When all you said from the beginning is our kids are fucked up, and that they should either go to jail or be killed, and you haven't wavered from that. So I'm not sure why we keep trying to convince you and then tell you if you do something we're gonna kill you, but yet then we'll still have the 16-year-old fucking up the neighborhood. So I totally see what you're saying. However, considering that might be your true, if that's your true belief, then let's also be real where that comes from. And this is what I want to offer to the panel. And we probably already know this, but we're getting triggered or getting caught up in the moment. Those type of psychotic thoughts come from someone who's been damaged as a kid. And if you think about some of our leaders who are no longer here, so KF, if you like him or not, one of the roots to his passion, he knew he had cancer. He knew he was leaving the world, and he did not like the position our women were in. So his response, and how this is related, his response was aggressive, do not give a fuck, and handled it the way he wanted to handle it. We have Be Brave up here handling it the way he wants to. Plus, he's in that last trimester of life. And I don't mean like in a bad way. I mean like you lived life, sir. So he's in that last trimester. And if we watch this show, if you rerun this show, we are a laughing stock while we're sitting up here having his every single thing. Yeah. Oh, ooh, yeah. Yeah. And he hasn't wavered. But that's the true psychosis. That comes from someone who's lived an experience and now has come back to say, this is what I see. But at the same time, not recognizing, or I don't know if we're recognizing, that that's part of the outcome if we don't do something. Not just about our families killing each other, but we'll be sitting here laughing, mocking, talking about people should be killed or whatever, throw them away. But it all comes down to one word: safety. We all do what we do for a measure of safety. He's sitting back there with the boarded up wall and all that for a measure of safety. Kill everyone and put them on that side, safety. But if we have safety, I like you. If you're safe and your vagina is clean, black woman, I like you. If you're this and that, I'll be with you. But if you even smell like you're not safe, fuck you. I'm out of here, and you are too. So please take heed to what he's saying, all of us as a community. And I agree. If he hurts one of ours, absolutely. I mean,
why are we talking about me hurting one of yours?
Well, no, I mean, right. That wasn't the conversation because.
My God.
Right, and that's I agree with you, and I'm not taking sides with you, but I agree with you. Like,
in other words, I can't come up here and talk without getting threatened.
Right. Now, here's the deal. Because we were looking for answers, and when we have shows like this, be brave, and you probably already know this. When we have shows like this, we appreciate the confrontation, we appreciate the truth, but then when we say, "Oh, okay, thank you for being honest," and then we develop a sense of trust. And once we develop an amount of trust, then we want to seek additional support. So once we built the trust, and then we're like, "Wow, well, what can we do? Kill them." Huh? No, like, okay, so no, I'm trying to tell you, when we build a bridge, you came up here, we built a bridge, and you start dropping gems and was honest, like, hey, whoa, holy shit. And it flipped to, for a few people, trust. And then, okay, well, what should we do? Even I came on with a clinical perspective, and when she said, I'm talking about now, not back then, I let it go. But then I said, oh, well, one thing, and when you answered, kill them, I said, that's your thing. So once we hear the threat, it is no longer safe for us, and that's when we respond. When we perceive, I'll speak for me, when I perceive trust, and then we're bonding, and I'm like, whoa, thank you for telling the truth. Thank you for being honest. And then I say, well, what can I do? What can we do? To be honest, kill them all. I didn't say kill them all. I didn't say you said it. And so here, for semantics, let's do this. I'm not quoting you. It's the way I received it. Okay? So if I receive that your response to the resolution is to kill him, my defenses come up because that's our future. And so, yes, I agree with you that they're fucking up everything now. I agree with that. But then when I hear, hold on, just a second. But if I receive that part of the solution is to kill him, then my defenses will come up and say, well, that's my future you're fucking with. Because even if I put them in jail, they're not dead. Even if I went to the house and slapped them upside the head, they're not dead. Right. Even if I confronted them in the street and said, what the fuck are you doing? Get your shit together. They're not dead. Right. So because that's our future. So I'll land my plane with that. And what were you going to say, sir?
Okay, so before I leave, let's make this understood. I'm talking about a 14-year-old kid with a gun to somebody's head. You have no other choice than to kill him. And if any of you think I'm wrong on that, you're lying to yourself. If he's got a gun to your head, you have every right to kill him to make sure he doesn't kill you.
Right. No, guys. Hold on, sir. Just a second, please. From my perspective, if that were the case, your entire race would already be dead. Because you've had guns to our heads and boots on our necks forever. We've not always been in position to shoot. We've had to learn alternatives or in addition to shooting.
I'll go for that.
And now be brave. One more thing. Information, man. Information, you have anything you want to say to Be Brave?
I don't have anything directly to say to him because I don't think it's our job as black people to try to convince white people of how they feel or think. It's our job to worry about what we need to do as black people. I don't have time to worry about what white people think because you may agree, sir, but the fact of the matter is that white people can comprise 69.4% of the crime in America, according to FBI statistics. Black Americans comprise 26.6% of all criminal crime in this country. However, homicide rates among black people are high. It's about, it's 51.2% of homicide rates and 45.8% for white folks. But white people, you guys are the ones who do more harm to your family. You're talking about worrying about black people. It's white people. No, I'm going to finish. It's white people who do very much crime. Let's see. When it comes to the R word, you know what the R word means? White people comprise at 69.8%, black people at 26%. Robbery is 44.7% white people, 52% black people, but aggregated assaults are 61.8%. 68% done by white people, 33.2% by black people. Let's talk about burglary. You guys have a problem with breaking into people's places at 68.2%, black people at 28.8%. Oh, grand larceny and theft, you lead at 66.3%, black folks at 33.2%. Arsenal, you guys got a big problem with burning the damn America down, just like y'all went up there to the Capitol. Y'all went to the Capitol and tore the Capitol up, a country that you claim belongs to you called America, which most of this shit in D.C. was built by Benjamin Banneker, man. So why did y'all go up there and tear down that beautiful designs that a black man put together? Motor vehicle theft, you guys lead at 67.6%, black people at 28.6%. Grand larceny. Now, arsony, you guys burn up a lot of shit at 70.8%, black people at 24.7%. Violent crimes, you guys lead at 59.1%. We're at 36.4%. And check this out. Fraud and counterfeit, 65.9%. You guys lead. We're at 30.5%. 67.1%. We're at 30.1% for counterfeit.
Hold on a minute.
And
you know who they blame? You know who they blame for those?
Hey, let me finish what I'm saying. No, you hold on. I'm talking. Yeah. Damn it. And when a man talks, you be quiet and listen. When a man comes up here with facts and figures, you give me the respect that I would give you. Now, vandalism is at 68.5% committed by white folks, 27.5% committed by black people. Weapons and carrying possessions. You're worried about black kids breaking and blowing up some stuff? Well, remember in New York, when they were doing that stop and fricks, most of the people who had the drugs and the whipping were white people that they stopped. Most of the black people had no drugs and whipping. But check this out. Weapons and carrying and possession. White people leave at 55.6%, black people at 41%. It's bad. Prostitution, you guys lead in that, 50.9%. Drug abuse and violations, good Lord, you guys lead at 71.2%. Yet they tell us in America that black people are the drug addicts when you guys are the drug addicts at 71.2%. And we're at 26.1%. In the 80s, we were hooked on the crack cocaine, but white people's crack cocaine is the methamphetamine, baby, and all that other shit that's going on. I'm about to land my plane, gentlemen. Driving under the influence, white people at 81.5%, black people at 14.1%. Okay, disorderly conduct, you guys lead at 63.6%, black people at 30.7%. Vagrancy, 67.5% white folks, 28.2% black people. Suspicious behavior, white people lead at 76.6%, black people at 19.5%. And my last one here, curfew, loitering and littering and violating laws, white people lead at 65.8%, black people at 29.9%. And in the total I said before, you guys lead in all crime in America at 69%. So while you sit up here and talk about your concern about the black youth, you need to be more concerned about your own people, because you guys have an affinity for criminality and criminal behavior that goes all the way back to the founding of this country. Now I have rested my case, and I don't need to debate with you, sir, because it's not my job to convince white people of convince you to stop being racist and stop. It's not my damn job, not at all. And I have rest my case with the statistics that came from your own people, the FBI. Have a good night, Black Men Unfiltered. I love you and everybody on the panel. Y'all take care. You just been hit by the information man tonight. Goodbye. I'm out of here. No time for
I wanted to address you. I wanted to address this guy. I don't know who the fuck he is. You don't raise your voice at a man and tell him to keep quiet while you talk. You don't do that.
He was on the road.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You can tell me to hold on, but don't tell a fellow man to. Don't raise your voice at a fellow man and tell him to keep quiet. You don't do that. I don't tolerate that because I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is, but you don't ever tell me to keep quiet. You don't tell a fellow man to keep quiet while you talk.
I don't think he knew it was you, Akane.
That's okay, but he shouldn't. That's okay.
So I'll say this, guys, in closing, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I know a few of you guys have to somewhere else to be, including Be Brave. Be Brave, thank you for coming in and being honest and being yourself.
Hey, Be Brave, take that 2x4 off your door, dog.
Yeah, but But the stats that he gave was really impressive. I got to say that he told the whole truth, because this is what I've been telling Be Brave for a long time. I tried to tell him, I told him that I had those stats. That white people commit far more crime, at 3 times more than black people. And I read all those things on FBI. It's on FBI.gov. It's there, open paper, black and white.
Whites do more crime. I've said that.
Yeah, we need more. We need more prisons to put them in jail. Put them in jail.
Man.
Put them all in jail.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
we need to put them all in jail.
Right.
You, like I said, email me anytime you want to do something on any other subject, man. We can roll on anything you want.
All right, Be Brave.
Not a one-note nanny.
I think a black man of filter had a phone call. I think he's
yeah, man. He gone. Y'all be good, man.
Yeah, but man, it was a very good debate. I got to tell you guys this.
No, I'm here,
it was.
Call me. But no, I'm gonna say this real quick, Ignay, because I do have to go. That's what that phone call was about. But man, thank you so much for being here. Be Brave, thank him for being here. Yusuf, thank you for coming up. Ignay, No Captivity, thank you for dropping in, man. This was a great conversation. Thank you, Dr. Nkumbe, for always supporting and being here. My brother, Lost in Translation, same thing for you. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. We have a stream on Tuesday. I'll be with Security Boss on tomorrow night, and I'll be streaming our show on here on Monday night as well. But
yeah, we'll be here tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. And anytime you guys want to come back, man, I'll email all of you.
Send me the link. Send me the link. You got my email. Send it to me. I'll be here.
Okay, I'll send it to you, my brother. All right, man. Thank you guys so much. This has been another Black Men Unfiltered Network show today. Black people have done nothing for America. They need to leave. And I appreciate all of you for showing up and showing out for us on today. It was a great show. If you missed it, go back and watch it. The stream ended on the first one, so go watch part 1 first. All right, and then you'll see Black people have done nothing for America. They need to leave continued, and you'll see that on the right under it. So they're back to back. You won't miss a minute of anything that happened in the show. Okay, thank Information Man. He came in and dropped a nuclear bomb, dropped the mic and left. So shout out to him. Quantum Dean, thank you for being here. I don't even shout out my people today. I'm going to take the time to do it because you guys have supported the channel. I have a new subscriber today, and I'm not going to just let you guys, I'm not going to leave here without saying anything to you guys. So whoever's waiting on me can wait because you guys are important to me. So I want to make sure that I call you guys out today. I'm going to go all the way back up to the top here. So let me see. All right, I'm calling everybody's name, whether they agree with the show or not, because you guys supported the show today. That's a lot of comments, though. All right, we got Kay Williams, World Class, Marcus Antonio Castillo, Derek White, Reckless Ray is in the building, Don Harton is in the building. Let's see who else we got in here. We got, let's see, Black David was in here, Quincy is in here, Sugar Bomb was in here. We got the Beavis Frequency in the building. Mama Carol, Yoshi Oma is in the building. Lost in Translation came through on the panel. Let's see here. Who else we have? Dr. Nkumbe was in the chat, giving it all that. Let's see here. Who else we got? We got Ortis Malone in the building today. Beautifully Animated was here today. Let's see. Right, let me see if there's anybody else. Just repeat. Jedi Mike was in the building. Mandrell was in the building today. RY in the building today. Trey was in the chat today. Let's see. The World Class. Smith Noah 1 was in the building today. Let's see. Harris Tribe Media Group was here today. Let's see. I want to make sure I get everybody here. I don't want to forget anybody. Let's see. Hold on. All right, we got Banter ABC in the building. Casey Moe in the building. He's a new subscriber. Cellulite Podcast in the building today. Let's see who else. I think that's it. I think everybody else was Mo. Yeah, forgot Mo's Gaming. Mo's Gaming was in here today. Thank you for being here. Scam Likely came through this thing, killing us with the jokes in the chat today. Bangin' Banshee was in the building today. Let's see if we had anybody else. And any Information Man, of course. And anybody else. Quantum Dean Metaphysics, thank you for being here. She's a great supporter as well. And I thank her for being here as well. She's amazing. Princess C was in the building. We had a great show, a great stream. Until next time, guys, God loves you, and I do too. And if y'all want to go back and watch this, man, listen, when you have someone of another race come in and tell you the intentions, come in and tell you the truth out of his mouth, he's 68 years old, guys. He's been here for 6 decades, almost 7 decades in this world. And he's telling you that he has privilege. He's telling you that you're disenfranchised. He's telling you that redlining is real. He knows it's real. He was a part of it. He's telling us all the things that most black people, even right now, will argue with other black people, saying that it's not real. It doesn't exist. He says that in jobs, he's seen that black people don't get jobs, and they give jobs to white people. He's been a supervisor before, and he's seen that in his own workplace, right? So he's been a part of that. So when a person's being that honest and being that forthcoming and telling his truth and standing in his square, guys, it ain't the time to hate. And I mean, it ain't the time. You can disagree with him and have a debate with him. That's what this was about, unfiltered debates. But this is not a time to get mad and cuss the man out. It's a time to go. You could go like the Information Man did. Everybody on the panel came in with their perspectives, which was amazing. Right. And people say sometimes it gets derailed a little bit and sometimes it comes back. But at the same time, when he tells his truth like that, like Lost in Translation just put in this chat, you better take some notes. Because what he's talking about right now is still going on right now. So for all those people that be on my panel saying, oh, the white man, oh, all this other stuff, it is real because he just told you. He just said, I was a manager and we discriminated against people. We are discriminated against people with darks. Go back and watch it, guys. This video, share it with people. Let people know the state of America. He just said it. I was a supervisor. And in my being a supervisor, we discriminated against people of color. He said, we do have white privileges because I'm 68 years old. I have more privileges now as a poor white man than black people have that have money. He said it. Go back and watch this. He said that racism exists. He said discrimination exists. He said the only thing that he was wrong about was the whole crime thing. Black people commit crime, right? But at the same time, Information Man came in and dropped a bomb, and he had, and at the time, you know, Be Brave didn't have a lot of comeback. Because Information Man didn't come with no bull. Information Man came with the receipts. Right? Now, Scam Likely, I understand what you're saying. He said, interesting. Just so because he said it, it's true. No. But my grandmother always used to say, when people are telling the truth, you better listen. He was telling his truth. This man may be poor now. He may not always have been poor. He's almost 70 years old, and he's admitting that he's discriminated against people in a place of power. He already said that he don't like black people, right? We always say, oh man, this is 2023. We can move in any neighborhood we want to. But he just said, white people do not want niggas in their neighborhoods. He didn't say niggas because it'd been a whole nother show. I had to rename it. But he said, black, we don't want you in our neighborhoods. We don't want you here. We don't want to be around you. We don't want your stupid ass ideas. Black people, this is what he said out of his own mouth. Black people, keep your stupid ass ideas. We don't want your ideas. We don't want you. We don't want you in our community. We don't want you around us. These are the things that he said. You got to take notes, guys. He said it. And think about it. How many other white men think what he's thinking, but just won't speak the truth like he's speaking it? That's the scary thing. You got 1 out of 10 who will probably tell you the truth. And he was that 1 out of 10. Those other 9 will keep what he said. They will believe in what he said, but they will never say what he said because they're still in the middle of their lives, 40s, early 50s, got a job, want to keep their jobs, want to keep their, they don't want to get canceled. But this man's 68 years old, like Information Man said, he's in the last trimester of his life, and he's just telling the truth. Shit, I was a manager. I discriminated against people. We don't like black people. We don't want you in our neighborhoods. We don't want you around. And they say people like this don't exist, not one. Well, we found one, and he came in and told his truth. He told you the white man is in control. That's what he said today. All right. So again, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you guys. And before we leave, I'm feeling led to do this. Before we leave, I want to play the video again of him speaking so eloquently about Black people in the neighborhood. Here we go.
Or as the leader of the world? No, I won't.
Okay, now? No.
Okay, that's my point. I will be
Voila.
back.
I don't care what Black people think. If whites go down the drain, we go down the drain. Right now, as I'm saying, we're not down the drain. I'm saying for us to save ourselves, we need to go, we're not stupid anymore. Would you Blacks please stay away from us? Leave us alone. Don't bother us in our neighborhoods. Don't think we want you here. That's all, Duwala. It's no big deal. And if it falls, you don't understand who's the corporate machine. You're bringing up Joe Biden, a silly puppet. I don't even go into that. That's childish talk. That's kindergarten room talk. But if you're power, we aren't going anywhere until the corporate machine decides where we're going. But as far as whites maintaining that, they don't. The corporate machine maintains the white power structure. And we don't care about what you think as a Black man, and we don't care where you're from. Please stay away from us. Don't move into our neighborhoods. For God's sake, please shut up with all your stupid ideas on things and understand that you got to take a
I am not even living in America. I'm not coming to you.
I don't care.
I just found you silly.
Wherever your country is coming, wherever country you're coming from is probably nobody wants to live there over America.
Go. Fire by night and a pillar of vapor by day. Walk through the desert, but when you admire the light, see the villains are paper mache. I'm on the way to the promised land, no contraband. I'm an honest man, I'm coming. Y'all met me, I'm set free, playing my part like the Red Sea. Man, I'm from heaven, I'm here with my brother in the volumes 11. Now we're getting rowdy. Swing from the scaffolding, spiritual happenings, miracles are all around me. This ain't no balcony, I'm in the front row.